Storm, the Melbourne Storm. And we are live. Hey guys, how you going? So down BK Sport, we are live for the Redcliffe Dolphins taking on the Melbourne Storm versus the... What do you even do for the Storm? What do you even say? Like the zing? No, that's something more too much like the zing for the Titans. There's got to be something for the Storm. I don't know. But as long as you don't say there's two S's in the name, because there is only one S in the Melbourne Storm. But today's game is going to be interesting because the Dolphins are in some pretty good form. But the Storm, they are one of the best teams in the comp. They are the Premiership favourites right now. Still, I know Dogs fans will try to disagree, but I still have the Melbourne Storm as the Premiership favourites currently. And they're coming into this game from second position, whilst the Dolphins come into this game from 14th position. And look, it is at Suncorp, but then again, the Melbourne Storm of all teams are not scared of Suncorp. They have a pretty good record up there. They've had a lot of Queenslanders over the year that call Suncorp home with the Queensland State of Origin team. So if there is a team that is not scared of playing at Suncorp, it is the Melbourne Storm, and they're a pretty damn well good team. So let's see if the Dolphins can keep up the same kind of form, or if Melbourne can come up and keep challenging the Dogs up the top end of the table, because the Dogs are actually travelling to Suncorp next week, take on the Brisbane Broncos, which will be an interesting game there. But then again, we don't know how the Broncos play tomorrow against the Warriors, and that'll give us a good standing point for how we'll go into that game. But let's get into the two team lineups here for today. Obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. We are about 70 subscribers away. About 70 subscribers away now from 30k. We actually may get there by Monday. We may get there by Monday. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please smack it down. We are super damn well close. But okay, so the Dolphins, they come in this game from 14th, the Storm second. This is Suncorp. The ins here for the Dolphins, Ray Stone. The out is Jerry Marshall-King. You go to the fullback, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. The wingers are Jermaine Asako and Jack Bostock, with the centers of Jake Avarillo and Herbie Farnworth. That is a great 1 through 5. You go to the 5'8", Cody Nikorima, and the halfback is Asai Katoa, who's been having a good season, with the props being Daniel Saifidi and Marky Nichols. The number 9 is Max Plath, with the loss of Marshall-King. You go to the back row, it's Kulakefu Funafuiaki and Tom Gilbert, who is the captain, with the 13 being Felice Kafusi, who shifts from the prop into the lock. I'm surprised that Max Plath is being pushed into the hooker. Then again, who would play hooker? So it makes sense, because normally you'd see Max Plath go to the 13 role. But obviously with Marshall King out, they've had to push him in there. And Kafusi's been pushed out to the 13 with Mark Nichols coming in off the bench. So a couple of changes here for the Dolphins. The interchange is Kurt Donahue, Corneli Lemielu, Josh Kerr and Ray Stone, with the 18th man replacement being Sean O'Sullivan and the coach being Christian Wolf. This Dolphins team obviously hadn't won a game for the first, 4 games of the season. Then they went and beat my Titans, and then they went and beat last week who did they play last week? Damn, I can't even remember who they played last week now. But they had a good win. It was a good win last week. Round 6. The Panthers, that's right. They completely dismantled the Panthers there, but the Panthers haven't been too crash hot at all so far this season. As you guys know, they are currently situated in the lofty spot of 16th. So it doesn't necessarily prove a great deal about the Dolphins yet, because they've played a team that's coming 16th, and also the Titans, who, most people wouldn't necessarily regard as a big time team. So there's a lot still to be proven with the Dolphins, and that's going to happen today. Out of all teams, it is the Melbourne Storm that you want to test yourselves up against. So the Dolphins are in the prime position right now to say, hey, listen, we actually are better than our 0-4 start. And yes, we've played 2 teams that aren't really classified as the big dog teams this year, but we're going to keep on with the momentum. And it's going to have to come from Asai Katoa today, because Jerry Marshall-King, he's a fine hooker. He's nothing too spectacular, but he is out, which changes a lot of their forward pack. And their forward pack is, solid. Their forward pack does have some big names in Tommy Gilbert and Maxi Plath, who's been really great, and Daniel Saifidi, ex-Origin. And Felice Kafusi, also currently still Origin, maybe not this year, but overall in recent years for sure, he's been a part of the Queensland team for a long time now. This Dolphins team has a great 1 through 5. Their 6 and 7 need to turn up today, and their forwards need to really get a monster on, because they are going up against, for me, the best team in the league. The Storm, on the other hand, Kane Bradley and Sualauvi Falongo come in with Harry Grant and Moses Leo out. Harry Grant out is a massive loss for the Melbourne Storm. The fullback is Ryan Pappenhausen, with the wingers being Xavier Coates and Kane Bradley. The centre is Jack Howarth and Grant Anderson. So although the outs doesn't have Will Warbrick, he's also out of this game. The 5'8" is Cameron Munster, who is the captain, and the halfback is Jerome Hughes. The big props are Stefano Utuukamanu and Josh King, with the number 9 being Bronson Garlick. Back row is Sean Bloor and Elias Katoa, with the 13 being Trent Loiero. And then the interchange is Tyron Wishart, Alec McDonald, Tui Kamikamitha, Big Dosso Man, and Joe Chand, with the 18th man replacement being Sualauvi Falongo and the coach Craig Bellamy. So it's interesting, because Falongo was actually meant to start on the wing, but they've decided to push Kane Bradley there. So the 19th man was Kane Bradley. Fa'alonga was starting too. So it's interesting that they've actually taken, one of the biggest up-and-comers of the recent years in Fa'alonga and actually taken him out of the team. They're taking him out of the 17 and put Kane Bradley there. So, I do find that quite odd. Kane Bradley's fine, but I would have loved to have seen the high-energy, frenetic kind of pace of Fa'alonga out there, but they've decided to go against that, and I'm not going to question Craig Bellamy's decision-making. Out of all coaches, I definitely don't think that I should be questioning him. Look, the Storm with no Harry Grant will be a different team. He's a very, very integral player to their spine, and Bronson Garlick is their hooker today, so that will be a bit of a worry. But when you've got Jerome Hughes, Cameron Munster, Ryan Pappenhausen, Little Mullet Man, Xavier Coates, even Elias Katoa, these kind of guys, you should be winning regardless. There's no game that the Storm should be going in, even without one of their spine, and saying, hey, listen, we've got excuses here. I think that's bullshit. I think the Melbourne Storm, being the premiership favourites, don't have excuses unless like two of their spine are out. If you've got Harry Grant and Jerome Hughes out, there's a worry. If you've got Harry Grant and Munster out, there's a worry. And if you've got Harry Grant and Pappenhausen out, there's a worry. But if it's only Harry Grant or if it's only Munster or only Hughes, there really isn't any excuses. I would say probably the biggest one would be Jerome Hughes being out. Harry Grant would be second, Munster would be third, and Pappenhausen would be fourth on that kind of level, on like a scale kind of deal. With that being said, it will make it more difficult. There's no denying that, but I don't think the Storm should be going into any game as an underdog, even against the Bulldogs, with just one of their spine out. I really don't. So I'm going to take the Storm here today, and I am going to probably take them 13 plus. I don't think the Dolphins have proven it just yet. I think they've had a good couple of wins, but I need to see a lot more from them. Is there a world where the Dolphins win this game? Sure, any game there can be an underdog win. Literally any game. You've seen that. The Eels were 0-4 and then went and beat the Dragons, and the Dolphins were 0-4 and then went and beat the Titans. So no matter what, you can see a surprise victory in this competition this year. There's no guaranteed bolters besides maybe the Storm and the Dogs. There really isn't any guaranteed bolters. So I could easily see an underdog victory in any game. But I will lean with the Storm because I do think their lineup is better and they have proven a lot more. Obviously coming off the back of a grand final and one of the best teams of all time in the Melbourne Storm, who are always there when it comes to the thick of it. So I will take the Storm convincingly this one. Now quickly, in regards to the ladder, the game starts in 7 minutes time. If the Dolphins are to win this game, so they're in 14th position, they're on 4 points, equal with the Roosters who are in 15th. So the Dolphins are in the bottom 4, but they've got a plus 8 points differential, which is actually quite beneficial right now because there are a lot of teams, even in the 8, still with a negative points differential. For example, the Warriors minus 20, the Rabbitohs minus 36, and the Cowboys in minus 42. Those three teams are 6, 7, and 8. So that means that the Dolphins with their plus 8, they may be in the bottom 4, but it just takes a couple of wins and they're right back into the thick of it and have already got a decent enough points differential. We're not looking at that just yet, though, because they're on 8 points, comparatively to the Dolphins who are down there on 4. But I'm just kind of giving you a future read in regards to how close they still are. Now, if they win this game with their plus 8, they would straight away go above the Knights, who are minus 40, the Titans, who are minus 26. They would have to win by 12 to go above Manly, who lost yesterday to the Dragons. They would have to go and win by 14 to go above the Sharks, but the Sharks play on Sunday, I think it is, against the Knights. It might be tomorrow, but I think it's Sunday. Either way, they play the Knights this weekend. So the Sharks can go back above them. And the Tigers are plus 28. So the Dolphins would have to win by 20 or more against the Storm. If they win this game by 20 or more, the Dolphins are going to be a great team this year, right? That would just be absurd to the Dolphins beat the Storm by 20 points in this game today. So realistically, the Dolphins would more than likely end up around that 11-12 area. They just have to hope the Titans don't beat the Raiders and the Knights don't beat the Sharks, because I don't think that if the Dolphins win, they're going to be winning by 14 points. That would be really, really good. I don't think that's the case. If they win, I would say by about 6 points, which would mean they'd stay below the Sharks, and then it would just come down to the Titans and the Knights winning their respective games to go back above them. If the Dolphins lose this game, the Roosters this weekend will take on the Panthers. I think that's the game tomorrow, actually, alongside the Broncos Warriors. So if the Roosters beat the Panthers, then the Roosters would go above them now. Their points differential's atrocious at minus 52. But because they're on equal 4, the Roosters would go above them. Dolphins would go to third last. They can't actually go... no, the Eels is minus 123 and the Panthers are minus 38. But one of No, actually, if the Panthers were to win this game, unless the Storm absolutely pumped the Dolphins, right? The Panthers are on -38. If they would win their game against the Roosters, they would have to hope the Dolphins got absolutely slapped in theirs, which would then put the Panthers into play. There is a chance they finish off in 14th this weekend, even with a loss. It just would have to be the Panthers winning. But more than likely, yeah, they would be situated either in 14th or 15th. It's just as simple as that. So that's the Dolphins end of the scale. Then you've got the Storm on the other end, who can't really change too much in position-wise. So the Storm are in second position with 10 points. They've got a plus 90 points differential. Obviously, if they win this game, they would stay in second, guaranteed. They are just outright second at the moment with 10 points. The Dogs are an outright first on 14 points, but the Storm have to win to keep in touch with them. So they've got a 12, and their points differential is 8 off. So with the Dogs getting a big 32-0 win over the Rabbitohs, they now put them differential to plus 98. The Storm are plus 90. So they would need to win by 8 or more to go back above their points differential, but they couldn't go above the Dogs because they will still be 1 win short. So more than likely they'll finish off the round in second. If they lose this game, they would have to get beaten pretty well to even be thinking to move out of second spot too. So the Broncos, the Raiders, the Dragons, the Warriors, the Rabbitohs, and the Cowboys are all 2 points below them. But with the Storm having plus 90, the Broncos having plus 56, the Raiders having plus 36, Dragons have already played, Warriors with minus 20, Rabbitohs with minus 36, and the Cowboys with minus 42. No one's really going to be looking to jump them. The Storm would have to win. The only team is the Broncos. The Storm would have to lose this game by about maybe 20 points to go down to plus 70, and then the Broncos to beat the Warriors tomorrow by 14 or more. Then the Broncos would jump them into second. But honestly, for the time being, the Storm, win or lose, will more than likely just stay straight up in second. Win or lose. And that's crazy, 6-7 rounds into a season. They have had a bye. That is a part of it. But, overall, their points differential is good already. So they're not going to be moving from first or second, realistically, whether they win or they lose this game. The only chance if they got thumped by the Dolphins. But there you go, guys. That's a little pre-game. I am taking the Storm to win this game quite confidently. But if the Dolphins get a win, then we'll start to adjust our mindset in regards to how the Dolphins are this year. And they're not as bad as they start off the season. Obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Like I said, we're about 70 subscribers away from 30k. We may be able to get there by the end of the... we may be able to get there by Monday. We may be able to do it, but anyway, we'll see how we go, and I appreciate you guys as per usual. But let's get to the chat and let's see what you mappers are saying. Let's see what you mappers are saying. Well, let's see. Olivia Reed says, cut the fins off. I don't want the Storm to win. I don't want the Storm to win because of the ladder, but I despise the Fins with all my heart. Do you really have that much of a distaste towards the Dolphins, considering that most Dolphins fans are Broncos fans? Do you really have that much of a distaste towards them, Olivia? I do get you, though. Like, as a Titans fan, I see them as the Broncos 2.0, right? So, of course, I have a little bit of a distaste towards them, but I don't have hate for teams like I once did when I was younger, right? Like, I'm just so passionate about the game and I want my team to be successful, where I don't even... Like, I would like to see the Broncos do well for people like yourself and some good fans. I got a great friend, Adam, who I would love to see the Broncos do well for. So I don't have that kind of hate anymore. But when the Titans play them, I would say I still hate the Broncos way more than the Dolphins, but it's just not that kind of same animosity that I used to have. KJH Sports says, I know it's early, but who are the halves for Queensland? That's a good question, because I was about to say, Munster, but, Tom Dearden's there. Cherry Evans will be it again. They'll put Cherry Evans as the 7, and then it comes down to Munster or Dearden. I think they will go to Munster. I think Munster will get it over Dearden, even though Dearden's been fine. But then again, they lost last year, but Munster's been out for a little bit. I still think they'll probably go Munster and Cherry, but maybe they start to... It depends on how the season, this series goes, really, because, they do have to start thinking about the future, Queensland. They do. Melbourne Storm are running out into the field now. They do have to start thinking about the future. Mate says, look who's back again. Yeah, how'd your timeout go for me in the last stream? It's pretty difficult to time me out when I'm on the stream with the Real Fan Sport boys. Brett Neslick says, come on, Rabbitohs, even we didn't do that bad against the Dogs. Yeah, but you did against the Tigers, so let's not pretend like the Knights are in a better situation than the Rabbitohs, Brenton. Don't you start here, son. Don't you start. Volume seems to be a bit low this stream. Does it really? Okay, well, you want me to put it up more? I can put it up more like that. Is that better? Or I can go like this. Woo! I can do that if you'd like. If you'd like me to do that, we can. Alright. They're coming out to the field now, the Dolphins, with a stupid trumpet. Agreed in the lower sound. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe it's. Hold on, let me see. Ooh. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's the Real Fan Sport Boys. I'm blaming them. I'll always blame them, especially Zach. Especially, it's always Zach's fault. Bob Bell says, I got Melbourne 22-12. Okay, interesting. I think the Storm can score more points, but the Dolphins have been on good form recently. They have. Harry Grant's out. Yep, yeah, he is. India brews a beer called Storm. Hope you got a six-pack for the game. Did they really? Or maybe next week I'll try and get that. I don't know if that's where I am, though. I'm in Udaipur. Maybe in Mumbai they might have it. I'm not sure. But the Storm will kick it off here, and the Dolphins will receive the ball at the 5. And it's going to be Felice Kafusi who brings it out to the 15 or so. All right, let me refresh this score because nobody wants to help me out. Jay doesn't, no one wants to help me out in regards to the live score, so I'll just have to do it myself. I'll just have to go do it myself. I tell you what, if the Storm lose this game, the fraud alert will be coming right over the top of them, mate. The fraud alert will be right over the top of them. Third tackle for the Dolphins at 30. I've got to skip through a bit of this chat to get through. William 30 says, I think the Panthers can still make the 8, but they need to turn around ASAP. I think the only team that's not making the 8 this year, guaranteed right now, is the Eels. I think that anybody could still turn their season around. I guess if Mitchell Moses comes in and absolutely crushes it, then maybe the Eels can come back to the equation. But the Eels, I think there's a lot more of a problem at the Eels than it's Mitchell Moses. You know, they've also got this Galvin situation looming over the top of their heads. Dolphins kick it down. Storm will grab the ball at the 5 through little Mama Puppy, and he'll get taken down about 10 metres out. I think the Eels have a lot of issues in regards to brand new coach and Jason Riles. I think their forwards aren't as good as they once were. They've got a bit of a mix-up in the hooker department post Reed Marnie. You know, their halves definitely aren't getting it going, but you can look at Mitchell Moses for that regards. I don't think their defense is good in the back line, so there's a lot more issues than just Mitchell Moses for mine at Parramatta. But then again, you know, I could easily be proven wrong. You know, the Dolphins looked awful for the first 4 games of the season, and now they're back up amongst the fray. So I would say the Panthers could still do it, but they look pretty poor. And I would look towards, here we go, right-hand side for Melbourne, Kane Bradley taken down. No, it's Jack Howard, sorry, at the 15. At the 50 on fit tackle, and Jerome Hughes will kick this one down to about 15 out where Hamiso gets it, and Hamiso brings out to the 20. Just quickly on Hamiso, he never had any space in the first 4 rounds. The Titans gave it to him, and then also last week the Panthers gave it to him. So when he gets space, the Dolphins win. I don't know if the Storm are going to be allowing him the space, but if he gets space, the Dolphins win. Munster does not look great right now. He did not look great. So, yeah, anyway, William, to answer your question, well, not even question, but statement, to give you my thoughts, I think the Panthers can still make it, but they've got a lot of soul-searching to do. And I think, Cameron Ciraldo leaving the Panthers, it took a couple of years, and they're off the charts bad. And then you've got the Dogs, who takes a couple of years, then the Dogs are well and truly up at the top of the table now. So, hits the grass there, Grass McGrass back in play, and Dolphins on fit tackle, 35 metres out from the Storm line. This is a close comp. This is a close comp. Yeah, no, it is a really close comp. I think that a lot of teams can still put themselves up into the really solid department, and that's a penalty to the Dolphins. Damn. Todd will give a penalty to the Dolphins 20 metres out. Please don't take the 2. You're not beating the Storm 2-0, mate. And it's not going to do much for you. Don't take the 2 here, Dolphins. Go for the try. You can't beat the Storm taking penalties. William says, Broncos win the comp. Everything else is irrelevant, bros. Oh, they're going for the 2. Oh, my gosh, the Dolphins are going for the 2. You can't beat Melbourne by going for the 2-point penalty. You just can't do it. The Storm would love this, man. The Storm would absolutely love this. Like, cool, you're going to be up 2-0, that's great. But I just disagree going for the 2 in this situation. But Broncos win the comp. Didn't you lose to the Roosters last week? And don't you like to insult the Titans, William? So you say Broncos win the comp, who haven't beaten the Titans 3 straight games, mind you. But you say that the Broncos win the comp, but yet you lost to the Roosters last week, who also got thumped by the Titans at Allianz like 3 weeks ago. So it's a bit confusing. Your thought process is a little bit confusing there, William. Jack says 44-6 to the Storm. Well, now you're probably going to say 44-8. Tigers to pump the Eels by 30 points. That's going to be an interesting game. I think the Tigers lost a player. I think Terrell May might not be playing. That's a huge loss for them. That's a massive, massive, massive loss for them. Eli has... he said Storms with an S. There's only one S in Storm, Eli has. Come on, baby, come on. There's only one S in the Storm. You may not know the rules around here, but now you do because you have been timed out. There's only one S in the Storm. It's the only team in the comp with only the one S. There's no plural form. So anyway, the Dolphins will get the kick, and it is 2-0 to Redcliffe. RS says, anybody streaming the game? Yeah, me. Main Star says DCE hasn't performed well this year. I disagree. I just think Manly haven't played well, but I think DCE's been fine. But also DC's got a lot going on. But Queensland are very well known to pick and stick basically. So I do have Cherry still being the 7 there, but they may change it. Bell said, "Why is everyone going at me?" I don't know, mate. What have you done? I had to skip a lot of comments, so maybe you said something. I don't know, but when the chat goes to someone, they usually deserve it, mate. So first tackle here for the Dolphins at the 15. Big Dave says, Cherry Evans' best performance this year has been on 100% footy. I don't think Cherry's been as bad as everyone's making him out to be. I just think that Manly haven't been great as a team. And you could look at Cherry and say that's the case, but you guys know, everyone who watches rugby league like we do passionately, like every week and every game, you know that Cherry has actually kind of got better with age, but when it comes to Queensland, like he will just turn up. You know what I'm saying? Like he will just turn up. So I don't know. I still have pretty much a pretty strong faith in close to forward there for Max Plath, but it'll be fit tackle for the Dolphins in the 45. I still have faith that Ches will more than likely get it, and I'm not a big fan of Cherry Evans, obviously, in regards to kind of what happened in 2014. But with that being said, when he plays for Queensland, I know he's one of the best halfbacks in the game. Brocky says, hello, Mr. Streamer. Hello, Mr. Brocky Sports. Hope you're going well there on a beautiful Good Friday. Jerome Hughes, right-hand side. Here go the Storm. Here go the Storm at the 30, the 35, the 40. Good run there by Ellis Katoa. Still going to 45. The post-contact meters. Unbelievable, baby. Mwah! Beautiful post-contact meters there by Elias Katoa. Second tackle, Jerome Hughes now. And they give it to Stefano Utukamanu. Still need to see a lot more from him, man, from his switch across from the Tigers. Mr. Universe is who do you think is going to win? I've got the Storm to win this game, bro. But to the Dolphins, they're giving it a crack in the first 6-7 minutes of the game. I just disagree going for the 2. I don't think you can beat Melbourne taking the penalty 2 there. So out to the right, Jerome Hughes. They've got too many points in Melbourne. They just got too many points. Right-hand side, they're away. And it'll be Kane Bradley at the 15. Fit tackle. The Storm are doing well when they're moving up the field. Pappenhausen, quick little play, short side, goes back, and that will go over the sideline. Didn't mind the play from Little Mullen and Puppy, but it just didn't work out in the end. So it'll be Dolphins ball here at the 10. KJ Sports says, do you see Dearden and Walker as the future halves of the Maroons? Walker is coming back from an ACL, so let's wait to see how he comes back from an ACL before we start thinking that. But with that being said, Munster's still got plenty of years left in him, mate. So, Dearden will be there and Munster will be there, and it's worked out with those two guys there before. So, I still think that's the next few years, but I want to see how Sam Walker comes back from an ACL before I start thinking that I know he's been the guy for the next stage of the Origin for a while now for Queensland, but it is unfortunate that he's done his ACL, and Cherry Evans is still there, and Munster is still there, and Dearden's there. So, Olivia says Bob is effing with my vibe. What's Bob done? I didn't see it. I don't even know what Bob's done. I don't even know what he's done. Seb Watson says King, but that's funny. Kingfisher Storm Strong Beer from 155 rupees. 155 rupees. That's like $3. It's like $3 Australian. Can someone look and see if it's available in Udaipur? Because this is in a dry state, so I probably could get it here. Second tag off at the Storm at the 35. I need to skip a few comments again. Main Star says, not so quick, Blaze. I've got Finn's first point score on my multi. Well, you won it, and that's going to be a penalty to the Storm. You won it then. Cam Shearer says, guys, this is a random question, but who goes for the Titans? This was random? Really? Was it random, Cam Shearer? It's a random question, was it? You sure? It's a pretty random question, considering that you are probably well aware that I'm a Titans fan. It's a very random question. Very random question. That was they must have called hell there, because I'm surprised they've called that as a penalty for Melbourne, because it was a one-on-one strip. Emery James, how is the Storm to smash the Dolphins? Well, they're currently down 2-0, so they've got to get a move on, but the way they're moving through the middle of the field is pretty impressive, the Storm. So they're now 30 metres out, even the line first tackle. Jay says, you're right, was a random question from an alt that's 3 weeks old. Yeah, no, it's a random question, Jay. Very random. Second tackle in for Melbourne, their first attacking opportunity of the game. 22 metres out, Jerome Hughes. He'll go short play, and they'll be 13 metres away from the line. That's why you can't beat the Storm kicking the 2-point penalties, because they're going to be in your area a lot. Josh King, 4 tackle, 5 metres away. I disagree with you, Blitzy, but I'll explain why in a second. Well, technicality-wise, that's an easy... Oh, damn! Good cover defense from Hamiso. That was a nice little play there from the number 17 for the Melbourne Storm. Oh, what's happening here? Okay, no, it's froze for a second. But Jerome Hughes puts that ball up in the air. I don't know why the stream is like freezing right now, but it goes up in the air. And that's a try for the Storm. That is a try for the Melbourne Storm, and that's what is the problem, Dolphins. You went for the 2. You went for the 2. That is the issue. That is the issue for the Dolphins. Taking the 2 there sets a bad precedent. Is it all right now? It froze for me too. I don't know what just happened. It's the first time today that there's been a mistake with the internet. But is it still good? Are we back now? Like, is the stream freeze? Sweet. Camera quality is not good. Okay, ignore the camera quality. As long as we're streaming, you can hear me. That's the main thing. I don't know what happened in regards to the internet, but it looks like it's fine now because I'm using the game. Anyway, it's 4-2 here for the Melbourne Storm. 10 minutes into the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. 10 minutes in, it's 4-2 the Melbourne Storm, and this is my biggest issue in regards to what the Storm did. The Dolphins took the 2. I think that's the worst case scenario in a game like this, because you're not beating the Storm in a low scorer. They're going to be able to score. They know how to score tries. They've got the best spine in the game, even without Harry Grant. They've still got a fantastic spine. I disagree taking the 2. Yeah, how's that 2-pointer going, Seb Watson? Exactly right. You know, sometimes I will admit when I'm wrong. Like, for example, the Dogs Knights, I think it was, last week or 2 weeks ago. I disagreed with the Dogs taking the 2, and it was a very close game for the first half, and it might have been a different game if the Knights actually took the lead, which they didn't. But in the context of this game, there's just no way you're beating the Storm in a low scorer. Brocky Sports said, Storm keep the Dolphins tryless in the whole game. I will donate $3. Let's go 5. Let's go 5, Brocky Sports. Let's go $5. I'm gonna barter you. I'm gonna barter you for 5. My bank account hates me. Well, that's usually how it goes, mate. But it's fine. 11 minutes in, and 6-2 to the Melbourne Storm. As Seb Watson said, how's your 2 points going for you? Davo says, you reckon another cricket score on the cards here, Blaze? But I think it's potential. I think there's a potential here, Dave. Who knows? Just to confirm, the stream's working smoothly now, yes? Brenton says deal. Oh, Brenton's going to donate $5 as well. Good, we've got $10 if the Storm can hold them tryless. Emery says, got Melbourne 13 plus tonight on my multi-bet tonight. Emery, how much are you winning from it? You know the rules here. What's the 10%? What's the 10%? Smoothly? Okay, good. NRL says you watch the IPL. So I'm currently in India, mate. So I'm in Udaipur right now. So I watch a little bit of the IPL for sure. I just know that once I leave, that's out in the full from the Dolphins. That's out in the full. Penalty to the Storm at the halfway point. Well done, Dolphins. How's that 2 points going for you? How's that 2 points going for you now? It's a penalty to the Storm at the halfway point because they kick it out in the full. So I know that when I go back into a different area, if I go to Chicago, right, I know the time slot's going to suck. And if I'm in Fiji, the time slot's going to suck because that's going to be at like 4 or 5 in the morning for me over there because it's 6.5 hours difference. So if I was to do IPL streams, I'd be in a bit of a mess long term. There'd be no point to gaining that audience and not being able to cover for them. So that's why I haven't really been streaming the IPL games, even though it's on at like 7:30 p.m. my time. Perfect time slot. But on BKRtravel, my other channel, you will see me at a Mumbai Indians game next week. I am going to a Mumbai Indians IPL game when I'm in Mumbai next week. I might go in 2 weeks and there's a game on then. Second tackle, because I love Udaipur. This is a great city. This is a great city here. Second tackle off to Munster. Munster to Pappenhausen. And they're taking down 10 metres away from the line. Third tackle, Jack Howarth. 10 metres out. Ryan Pappenhausen goes out to the right. 15 metres away now. Munster. Fourth tackle at the 8. Fourth tackle now at the 8. 12 minutes in. If the Storm score here, it's going to get dangerously scary for you, Dolphins. Pappenhausen. Ooh, nice little step there, but it'll be 6 again for the Storm. Damn, 3 metres away. It's a 6 again. Nice play there by little Mulliman Puppy. Munster gives it out. Here's a chance. Jerome Hughes, short play. Alexa Katoa. He'll be taken down 7 metres away. Second tackle. And 6 again for the Melbourne Storm. Jeez, be careful here, kicker care. Be careful. Big Tui Kamikameath. They go, you big Fijian beautiful man. Second tackle. They go at the back to Munster, who's 10 out then. Oh, here's a chance. Try time. How's that 2 points looking for you, Dolphins? How's that 2 points looking for your Dolphins? Xavier Coates goes in 10-2 with a kick to come. Don't take the 2 against the Melbourne Storm. Do not take the 2 against the Melbourne Storm. Whoever decided to do that decision, you lost the game right there. Because you know what you told the Storm? You said, we don't believe necessarily that we can score against you. We don't necessarily believe that even though we're in prime attacking opportunity, we don't back our attack. You've got Herbie Farnworth. You've got Isaiah Katoa. You've got Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. You've got Jake Avarillo. You've got some great players in your back line. Why are you taking the 2? Why are you taking the 2? And that's exactly right. What did I say when it happened? You don't beat the Melbourne Storm by taking 2-point penalties. You just don't do it. You don't beat the Melbourne Storm taking 2-point penalties. And now you're down 10-2 with a kid to come like that. It's 14 minutes in. Ben says the stream is working more smoothly than butter. Well, there you go. Andrew has had a comment removed. He said, why are you in heaven? Oh, it's Good Friday, mate. It's Good Friday, that's why. Now, I don't know why. Like, if I leave the screen, it'll show you, it'll be different. Hold on. There you go. I don't know why. It goes, and now I'm in a church, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know why it makes it super bright. I'm not, like, huge, like, technologically, so I don't even know really why it does this, but at the end of the day, like, it's fine. All praise to God. I heard that the Kings are good. The Kings? Who are the Kings? Who are you talking about? Are you sure about what you heard, Andrew? Who are the Kings that you're talking about? James Speed says at least the Dolphins have scored 2 points rather than the Warriors losing 36-0 at halftime to the Storm. Both lost. Well, the Dolphins haven't lost yet. I should say this, but I don't see the Dolphins winning this game from here at all. I could see this being a blowout from here. So, you know, I don't really understand why there's really at least there. But wow, good kick from the Mullen and the Puppy from the sideline. 12-2. 12-2 to the Storm. Rex says another boring game incoming. Potentially, yeah. NRL fans, what are your favourite sports? I watch literally everything, mate, but rugby league obviously is my number one. I love my football, as in soccer. I love my baseball with the Cubbies, who are going pretty well right now. I love a bit of NFL. You know, my Detroit Lions going well now, but we sucked for a long time. We sucked for a long time. I love my Bulls, my basketball, even though they were bad yesterday. Really, really poor. I love my Geelong Cats in the AFL, but I'd like to see the Sunnies do well. Like, I've seen Geelong win, so I'm from the Gold Coast. The only reason I'm a Cats fan is because my stepdad at the time, before the Suns existed, was from Geelong, so I became a Cats fan. But I'd actually probably prefer to see the Sunnies do better than the Cats. If the Suns play the Cats in the grand final, I'd probably go for the Suns. Probably would. Slapper says first points win, remember. Oh, thanks, Slapper. Didn't actually hear this one before. Don't think I'm ever going to hear it again. But you know, thank you. Thank you for your for acknowledgement. Rocky Sports with the $8 donation. Hey, I got an extra $3 out of the barter. See, this is why you always barter, kids. 4 tackle leave at the store at the 45. But Rocky Sports with the $8 donation says, here's the money, Dolphins suck. Well, listen, Rocky, firstly, appreciate you, but also secondly, I'm not going to argue with you currently. Don't take the 2 ever again. Kick, okay? But Hamiso will grab the ball to 15. Anderson says, my brain works when it needs to. Disagree. Brain doesn't work for you, unfortunately. Kings in the IPL. Who are the Kings in the IPL? Oh, I'm not massively knowledgeable on the IPL, mate. I just know that there's the Rajasthan Royals, there's the Delhi Capitals, you've got Mumbai Indians, the Chennai Super Kings. The Chennai Super Kings. Okay, yeah. They're not going too well this year, but usually they win. They're coming last right now, actually. I'm currently in a place not represented by a team, but I was just in Jaipur, which is the Rajasthan Royals. I guess the Rajasthan Royals represent Udaipur, because this is Rajasthan. Herbie Farnworth taking down to 30. Fit tackle. I guess Rajasthan Royals would represent Udaipur, because it is Rajasthan, and I am in Rajasthan. It's just Udaipur is the city. That's the state, Rajasthan. The Storm will be taken down at the 7, and it'll be first tackle for them. TD says, my boy Pappenhausen. That's a little Mullamental puppy to you, son. That's a little Mullamental puppy to you, TD Tyrox. Come on now. Seb Watson says, would have liked to have seen the Finns decline the 2 and just kick the 1-pointer. That would have been great. I would love to see that. That would be amazing if a team ever decided to do that. Stormer away. Xavier Coates. Oh, he didn't flick it. Oh, now he flicks it. And they're going to be away. Storm at the 40 to 45. He's lost the ball. Yeah, it's a lost ball there. So it'll be Dolphins at the 45. Yeah, it's definitely knock on. And Jack Howarth is now grabbing at his arm. Hope he's alright. David says, how is Jerome going? There was doubt he would play. Well, they're up 12-2, and he is playing, so he's going fine. Mitchell says, the Australian Stallion was the only player to show up, mate. The Australian Stallion's a beautiful man. Australian Stallion, Josh Giddey. You can't stop him. You just can't stop him. It's not possible. To be fair, he kind of does throw that backwards, but like I'm okay with it. Call to knock on. Punjab Kings. Oh, who is Chennai then, NRL fan? The Chennai... Yeah, Punjab Kings, is it? Yeah. I was meant to go up to Amritsar. Is that where they play? Are they out of Amritsar? So there is an injury here for Jack Howarth on his right shoulder. God bless him. Yeah, Punjab Kings. Yeah. United Sucker says, $3 donation. Get around you, United Suck. Says, I'm going to get some ice and some ice. Thank you for the some ice and some ice. I don't understand why that's a comment, but thank you for the $3 donation. Dolphins out of the left-hand side. They got space. Jack Bostock back on the inside, 25 metres out. He's still going here. He's still going. And 15 metres out. Brocky Sports with the $80 donation. Brocky, you just told us your bank account was bad, and now you just donated $80. Thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate that. Obviously goes a long way over here. But thank you very much, Brocky. But you just told us your bank account wasn't bank accounting, and now you've donated $80. Get around you, mate. You're a legend. So third tackle now for the Dolphins. They're 5 metres away. He gives it out to Isai Katoa. Isai Katoa to Hamiso. Hamiso crunch to the tackle, 5 metres away from the line. Get around you, Brocky. You're a big bopper, mate. You're a big bopper. Are you going to the game on Sunday, Brocky? You going to the game on Sunday against the Raiders? Fifth tackle here, 13 metres away from the line. Bro says his bank account's not bank accounting, and then goes and drops a big old donut. Knock on for the Storm, so on fifth tackle, it's going to be 6 again here for the Dolphins. Hey, listen, I reckon if you get a penalty, Dolphins, you should go for the 2 to make it 12-4. So first tackle here for the Dolphins, and they're 10 metres away from the line. Williams says, does Max Plath play Origin this year? He's there or thereabouts. I haven't really been thinking about Origin yet, mate. We're not really at that stage, but I know about... I'd probably say next week onwards, people start talking about Origin on a serious level. All Dolphins, he's 6 again! I think he might be held up. Yep, held up over the line. It's going to be first tackle, 10 metres out, and I love that Todd Smith has not gone to the bunker for that because we could all see it was held up. Oh, it is also the Chennai Super Kings, but also Punjab. Well, there you go. There you go. But he'll be held up at the line, so the Dolphins are giving it a good crack at the moment. Still waiting for them to take a field goal, like Seb Watson said. Brocky could have waited a little bit. Why do you want Brocky to wait? Why do you need Brocky to wait? Dolphins! Oh, no. Close. Good cover defence there from the Storm. Jack Bostock nearly scored in the wing. They're going to check this, but why? He's very clearly not scored this try. Brocky using the stolen card. And there's no way Bostock gets this. Yeah, he's been whacked right there. I don't even know why we checked this. Why did we even go to the bunker for this? We all knew he didn't score. It's not even close. It's over the line. We know it's over the line when he loses the ball. Look, it's going to be the Dolphins, the Storm ball at 10. Why did we check this? Dadmate says, you know who's a great team? The Canterbury Bulldogs. That's who, Andrew. Gee whiz, Daz is going to be a torture this year. He's going to be a torture. It's going to be torturous to have to deal with this Daz mate bloke all year. We love him, but gee whiz, you know. I will say to you, Daz, if you don't win the comp this year, I feel for you because you might go on a rampaging timeout stream in a finals game because you might get crunched, dude. And you know it too, but that's the fun of it. Oh, big hit from Kafusi, and the Dolphins now get the ball after a knock on. So the Storm are kind of capitulating a little bit right now, and they're allowing the Dolphins back into the game. Jack Howarth has come off with a dislocated shoulder, so he probably won't be back today. So the Storm are having to mix their team up a little bit themselves. First tackle in for the Dolphins, 18 metres away from the line. Andrew says, Lane better than... No, Andrew. Maybe 3-4 years ago, sure. Sean Lane was great. Maybe not so much anymore. Second tackle here for the Dolphins at the 5. They go to the right. It's the drop ball, but it goes backwards. It's fine. Third tackle now 8 metres away from the line. Third tackle for the Dolphins. They go to Isai Katoa. to Cody Nikorima, and I think that's a knock-on from the Dolphins. This might actually be away. They might be away. I think they're away. Xavier Coates at the 35. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. He's at the 50. He's still going. He's still going at the 40 on the Dolphins side of the field, and it will be Storm ball. I think that's actually good that Xavier Coates didn't score there because they might have come back from a knock-on from the Storm. But I think it came off the head of the Storm player. But anyway, now the Storm are back on the attack. First tackle at the 25. 20 minutes gone here in the first half, guys. We're 70 subscribers away from 30k. Let's try and get there by Easter Monday. Would really appreciate that. So hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. William says, yeah, Preston is a beast, but you're saying Hamoli gets dropped then? Oh, no. You talking about Origin? Me? I didn't say anything about that. Preston's not getting into Origin, but like he's Origin worthy, but there's too much good back rowers in New South Wales. Third tackle here at the 10. Liam Martin, Hamoli Olakawatu, Keon Kolomatangi, like these kind of guys. But Jacob Preston's definitely in and around the picture. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get in right now, which is similar to like a Jake Friend and Cameron Smith situation. So third tackle, and it goes all the way back to the 25 here. Munster still with the ball, and Kafusi should have made a better attempt at a tackle early on. Fourth tackle, 18 metres away now from the line. Out to the left, good pass, but good tackle as well from, was it Jermaine Sarko? Yeah, it was. Jermaine Sarko and Jake Avarilla. They go short side. Pappenhausen try time. How's your 2 points looking for you, Dolphins? That was really... I'm telling you, the Storm are still premiership favourites for mine. It's too quick. It's just too quick, man. It's too quick from Melbourne. Robert says, Blaze ascended to heaven. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know why it does this, man. Again, if I stand up... We're not in heaven anymore, but we are in a church. Yes. I love doing that. I go from heaven to church. I don't know why it doesn't, bro. But anyway, the Storm will score, and it is 16-2 with the kick to come. Really appreciative of that 2 points that the Dolphins kicked to lead the game. Hey, at least they led the game at one stage. But the Storm are too quick, mate. They're too quick. You cannot beat the Storm taking the 2. You just can't. Unless it's like the 70th minute. Go for it. 60th minute. Go for it if it's close. But in the third, fourth minute of the game, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And it says, oh, but seriously, I hope Lane mental health is okay. He's had to step away from social media and NRL. I get it. You know, I've had mates through, like, I'm trying to figure out if I can say, like, I don't want to throw any players under the bus here. It doesn't tell anyone anything. I know players that have significant mental health issues in regards to how players and people online get, you know, things thrown at them and shade thrown at them. You know, like I've had to go through my own shit that I've come out better because of, you know, the chat or the way I get dealt with at games or, you know, the way that I've been looked at before. It's very difficult. It's very difficult when you've got people looking at you, and especially for them on a big scale. So, yeah, like it's a big thing, and I do feel for Sean Lane, but unfortunately it comes with a job. Unfortunately it does. I wish it didn't, but, you know, with gambling, people get angry. I've seen some horrible messages sent some of our boys, you know. Unfortunately, it is a part of the game. I wish it wasn't. So I do feel for him. Ben says, South were the newest victims, all right. South were the newest victims. David says, yes, Daz, you tell him. Don't defend Daz. He's him up at that bloke. Lucky I'll be at every finals game. That is a good point, Daz, but you'll be here for the game after that. Unless you're in the grand final. If you're in the grand final and you lose, yeah, you might cop a bit afterwards, but at least it's the back end and there's no next NRLs. Oh, the international games, you might get a little bit of it. Maybe a little bit there. Katoa and Herbie next, please. Oh, you need 2 Dolphins to score. That's going to be hard for you. Storm with the ball, second tackle here at the 25. Mitchell says Dolphins just didn't want to get a duck. Hey, well, they didn't get ducked. They didn't get ducked. They might get another version of ducked with a changing of the letter D to an F, but they're not going to get ducked. Fourth tackle here. No, third tackle. They get the offload away. Josh King and out the halfway point on fourth. The angelic choir plays in the background. Do you get a bit of the Halo music? Ooh. Maybe we should turn this into a choir channel. BKR choir. Fifth tackle here at the 30. Dolphins, that's right. David says they put points on you so quickly before you know it, you are 20-odd points down. Well, exactly right. And that's what the Dolphins are. And that's the thing, right? Hamiso has been so good in the last couple of rounds, but it's because he's had the opportunity to be. The Storm aren't going to give him that opportunity, and I do think the Dolphins rely so heavily on Hamiso getting space, because when he gets space, you know, he scored 3 tries last week. He scored 3 tries against the Panthers, and when he gets space, he's able to just absolutely light the field up. And in this game, I can't see a world where Hamiso has the opportunity to light the field up. Blake Harlan says, Mullet Man, Supercoach Captain is so sexy. That would be sexy right now. Yeah, little mullet puppy. He's a dangerous player. And I tell you what, he's knocking on the door of Origin. Is the fullback spot locked up for New South Wales? Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that Dylan Edwards is a guaranteed bolter. You know, maybe they want to go a different direction. Like, he's a very hard worker and he'll run the ball hard and he'll get it up, you know, strong. But, you know, you do have Trell Mitt potentially, which I don't think they do. I don't think they utilise that. But they do have that option. They've got little Mullen, little puppy. Like, if Tom Boyvich was healthy, I still don't think they do it. But, like, there is that option. There is actually plenty of opportunities for the fullback role. Jai Gray is a Queenslander, just to clarify for people who wonder about that. I don't think that he's ready for Origin yet. But I do think over the coming years, potentially. I wouldn't, as a Penrith fan, I wouldn't say Edwards has it locked down. I wouldn't say no to Pappenhausen there. Right-hand side, the Storm are away, 15 metres out. And his 5th tackle now for Melbourne, 10 metres away from the line. They are pacing this Dolphins team apart. Like, they are pacing them apart. Jerome Hughes puts his ball across into the corner. Knock back, maybe. Knock on. Dolphins drop out. Here's what will happen. Sebastian Albert is a Grant playing. No, Harry Grant's not playing. I'm pretty certain this is just knocked from the Dolphins. Maybe the kick wasn't good enough. If it goes a little bit further out, Xavier Coates will get up and above and probably score there. Jerome Hughes, unfortunately, just couldn't get enough power on that to get that across to Xavier. But I'm pretty certain that's off Dolphins. They will check this, though. The bunker always checks in regards to this situation. Craig joins his Pappenhausen point shaved with that miss. So it's 16-2 and the Dolphins will drop it out. Olivia says, what is the ultimate BKR membership? Mine is coming up to renew, just considering my options. I think we have. I don't know, to be fair. I think I did something the last year in it. I don't really know, to be fair, Olivia. Hey, you know what? You would be the ultimate, Olivia. You are one of the ultimates. But, hey, listen. It supports the channel greatly. I actually can't even remember what that membership is, to be fair. Blake Allison, as a Penrith fan, I wouldn't... That's right, I read that comment. Andrew says, Olivia King Muppet membership. No, I think there's like a membership option of like $25 a month or something. But I can't remember what I did it for. Which tells you a lot. But with that being said, there's your bragging rights. Storm throw the ball over the sideline. Yeah, there you go. I know, I remember there was a reason that I did it. But I think that because I decided to go travelling, maybe I haven't been able to actually do anything with it. I think I was going to put like extra like vlog content or something on there, but then I decided I'm not vlogging it. I can't remember. There was a reason for it though. Dasmate says Penrith fans are going to tear me a new one if the Dogs don't win the comp. Yeah, they will. So should I just do the 5? You can do what you want. Like if you want to support the channel, you know, better with the $25 one, that would be awesome. But if you only have the 5, then you don't do the... Oh, there's a Biffo! Biffo! Slap him! Slap the mother bish! Punch him! Give him a left, right, good night. Or are you going to sell me the 25? Go on, salesman me. Well, listen... What if I said to you that nobody was a member for 25? So if no one's a member for 25, you could be the first and only member on the $25 option. So you're actually a part of an exclusive BKR supporter area. So there's your sales pitch. You can be an exclusive BKR member, or you can be a part of the ones with the $5 who are awesome too, but you can be exclusive. How about that one? You know? There you go. There's a penalty here to the Dolphins, the 25. Did I sell you? Do you want to be exclusive, or do you want to be a part of, you know, you've got Rubbo here. You got Rubbo. Do you want to be a part of the Rubbo Brigade? Dragons fan? You've got to be careful with that. You've got to be very careful with that. Or do you want to be an individual? Just throwing it out there. Zach says, $25, what is it, a link to your OnlyFans? Yeah, no, my OnlyFans, very sexual content on there, mate. Yeah, no, big time stuff over there, big time. You know, Daz is my biggest supporter over on OnlyFans. The exclusive only BKR links is a perk. Exactly right. See, Big Dave gets it. Big Dave gets it, absolutely. So third tackle is Ikatoa. It's Ikatoa at the 20, and Hamiso. Hamiso underneath to Jake Averillo. Averillo at the 15. And then it's Ikatoa. He will be taken down 15 metres away for tackle. Desmond said, I don't think he'll say no to the 25. Don't think I'm going to say no to it. Don't think I'm going to say, hey, listen, don't do that. Nicarima. Oh, he's thrown the ball back to Gilbert. Gilbert then to Josh Kerr. He scored. That's a try to the Dolphins. That is a try to the Dolphins and 16-6 with a kit to come. Good try. Good try. Daz is the only fan on OnlyFans. That's not true. Brenton, I've seen you around there. I've seen you around there. You gotta stop asking for guy stuff, though. It's a bit weird, mate. It's a bit weird. Not kind of up our alley on the Gold Coast. Maybe Newcastle for you guys, it might be. And, you know, we don't judge, mate. You can do what you want. You know, love is love. Just not for me. Not for me. So you do what you need to do. Just not for me, mate. So Dolphins will get a try, and it's a 10-point game with a kit to come. Desmond says, and it's a free membership for only $25. $25 and the membership is free. Exactly right. Exactly right. And it says, I know what the exclusive content is. You get a song of your choice every month. Mate, Don't Stop Believing. I love singing that song. Hey, it's a great song, Don't Stop Believing. Big Dave says, 8th gives Teddy his... Oh, I forgot to say Teddy as well. But 8th... Why are we... Was that not a Roosters fan on the screen just then? Hold on, I'm skipping back for a second here. Was that a Roosters fan doing the KKK buddy celebration thing just then? Oh, no, it is a Dolphins fan. I don't know why. That scarf with that kind of jersey made him look like a Roosters fan. No, it was a Dolphins fan. No, it was a Broncos fan. Yeah, it makes sense. No, it does definitely make sense, that. So 10 minutes ago, the first half. Thumbs up, subscribe. 10 minutes ago. No, it did end up being an actual Dolphins fan, which it's crazy seeing them in the wild. Dolphins have fans. They do kind of, does. They do kind of. They are ex-Broncos fans and Broncos fans, but they do kind of. They're just Broncos fans in disguise. That is correct. All right, so I think we've just missed the conversion. Did I get to even watch the conversion? I can't remember. Maybe I skipped back at the time. So 16-8 here to Melbourne. It's an 8-point game with 10 minutes left of the first half. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got Warriors and Broncos. Yeah, they're showing us the conversion now. Congratulations. Thank you for showing it to us when the game's already on, so we missed the live viewing of it, which is kind of why we watch KO and Fox Sports, to watch the game live. But tomorrow we've got Warriors and Broncos and what, Sharks Knights? No, it's Roosters Panthers, isn't it? Yeah, Roosters Panthers. And on Sunday we'll be live for the Titans, Raiders and Knights Sharks. And Monday we'll be live for the Muppet Brigade. All right, 4th tackle now for the Dolphins, now 5th at the 45. William says, leave Broncos fans out of this. Never, William 30. I will never, ever do that. Never, never, ever. Never, never, ever. And twice on days that end in Y. I will go at Broncos fans twice on days that end in Y. Xavier Coates with a great run here to the 30. Zach says, you should make a piss take $160 membership to see if someone pays. That would be quite funny. Surely no one would do it, but maybe I'll do that for a bit of a laugh, yeah. That'd be funny. I'll literally say on the description, you will get no added benefit with this. This is just a piss take. 4th tackle here at the 40. Mitchell says, I heard the $25 memberships gives you exclusive sleep streams. Do you hear that, Blitzy? Blitzy's more into the feet streams than the sleep streams. Good little kick there from Munster into the corner, but Hamiso will be there at the 10. And Munster's actually going to make the tackle. Oh, well, he kind of made the tackle. William says Broncos 30 plus. Not against the Titans though, eh? Last time they played, it was 30 plus Titans. William 30's from over on Real Fan Sport. He was trying to get me banned before, but he realised that I'm not the guy. I was on live stream, so if you guys don't know, Real Fan Sports are a couple of American guys who do some streams for the IPL and all close to forward in the Rugby League and AFL and whatnot. You should go check them out. They're good blokes. And I was over there just talking with them before. Oh, the internet is cutting a little bit. But I was over on their stream just before, and yeah, we're having a bit of a laugh in between the two games. William says, Blaze, how are the other 4 Titans fans? I didn't realise that you watch rugby league for the amount of fans that one team has. I couldn't actually really give a shit about how many fans a team has. All I know is that I go to watch the game because of the team and rugby league. So when I go to games, I don't know about you, William, but I go to games and I'm not actually looking at who's in the crowd. I'm looking at the game that I've paid to come and watch. So, yeah, I didn't realise that it was a competition in regards to the most fan base. But if that was the case, then it wouldn't actually be the Broncos still. It would be more so, like the Rabbitohs or something like that. Or maybe even New Zealand, because you get an entire country. I'm not the guy, William. I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. Fit tackle here at the 45. I am a guy, not the guy, though. Blake says, William got jokes. He's trying. Bless him. Blake says, how crazy was that Man United game? Have you seen that? I did see the score. Obviously, I'm not a fan of United, but I did see the score. It's impressive for them to win despite being down by, what, was it 2 with 14 minutes to go of extra time or something? No, I am a guy, just not the guy, Andrew. No, I clarified that one, mate. You got to open the old eardrums. Got to open the old eardrums there, mate. Second tackle at the 30. Hamiso gives it to Isai Katoa. Then off to Avarillo, and Avarillo gets away. The Dolphins are away here. And maybe that 2 points has come back into play. 45 metres out from the line for the Dolphins. Third tackle. United sucks as Broncos fans. Some of the type of people that can swallow a whole super duper without gagging. It's a really interesting thought process that you think about that. But sure, I'm not gonna deny your thought process. Fourth tackle here at the 22. Hamiso goes out to the right. And then back underneath with Katoa. He'll go off to Tommy Gilbert. And Gilbert's going to be 10 metres away. Fit tackle. 6 minutes left the first half. They score again before half-time. And they've actually got the momentum going into half-time. So Katoa up in the air. And knock on Storm. 6 again. Coming up for the Dolphins. 10 metres out. Damn, it's a great result for Redcliffe. That's a great result for Redcliffe. Dasman says, don't let that United result distract you from the fact that in a year that Man City have struggled, Arsenal's still going to finish second. It's a great point you make. It is a fantastic point. It is an unbelievable point. But yeah, unfortunately for the Storm, it is a knock-on, so Dolphins will get the ball here at the 10. Chelsea are third, aren't they, Daz? Oh no, Nottingham Forest is third. Are we fourth and you fifth, or are you fourth and we're fifth? Mitchell says, ref is full of it. Bloor would never make an error. No, he did, mate. No, he definitely did. But, we commend him for it. So, Dolphins now 10 out. Isai Katoa to Nikorima. Nikorima gets it off to Hamiso. Hamiso! Oh, he tripped over. Oh, he scores if he doesn't trip over there. Where's 6th, you're 5th? Who's 4th? What, Newcastle or something? Who's 4th? Because I know, Forest are 3rd. Who's 4th? Is it Newcastle? Out to the right, 6 again now for the Dolphins. They're 2 metres, 1 metre out from the line. First tackle. Didn't Chelsea lose 2-1 to Legia Warsaw? You didn't, Daz. You didn't. I don't believe it. Daz. You didn't. Second tackle at 10 metre out. Forest are 4th. Who's 3rd? It's Liverpool, Arsenal. Then who's in 3rd? And so Nottingham are 4th. The Psychotower was so close. Oh, Newcastle's 3rd. Oh, damn. They're doing well. Third tackle, short play. Josh Kerr, he'll be held just short of the line. 1 metre out, 4 tackle. 4 metres out. They give it out to Isai Katoa. Katoa, short play, and good defence from the Storm there. Fit tackle. 3 metres away for the Dolphins. 4 minutes left of the first half. Out to Isai Katoa. He's going to kick it up into the corner. Jack Bostock catches it. Try time for the Dolphins. The Dolphins are back in the game, and it's 16-12 with the kit to come to the Dolphins to make it, hey, guess what, a 2-point game, but to the Storm. So the Dolphins are coming back into it. They're showing a little bit of form here, son. Showing a little bit of form. They were down 16-2, and now it's about to be either 16-14 or 16-12. It's a close game again. Sports Science says, who's he picked for the UCL? Maybe Paris Saint-Germain. Maybe Paris. Maybe a bit of PSG action. But Jack Bostock just gets up over the top of him and scores. 3 minutes to go. It's game on. Ben says, Broncos fans, put your fins up. Yeah, Broncos fans, get the fins up. Come on, William. Come on. Get the fin up. Come up. Yeah, he's a nice kid there, Robbo. I will say, Isai Katoa has had a great season. Even in their 4 games they lost, I thought that Isai Katoa was really showing signs of what he can be. And then since then, he's really come leaps and bounds across the last couple of games. The last 2 games, though, were against the Panthers team that is second last and the Titans team that's very inconsistent. So that's why we had no proof in regards to how the Dolphins were playing. But this is a good sign to say that the Dolphins are actually, up and about. The sheik that bought the Geordie finally happened to see a return on his investment. Yeah, well, they won the They won the League Cup. So I remember back in 2010-11 when we won our first trophy in 44 years, or 43 years at the time, which was the FA Cup against Stoke City. We won 1-0. Yaya Toure scored the goal. We beat United the week before. That was the start of the journey for us, really, when we beat Stoke 1-0 in the final. And then the very next year was the year that Sergio Aguero scored the goal in the 93rd minute, 20 seconds, to win the league for the first time in 44 years. So I remember as a City fan the moment that changed it for us. So you can look at Newcastle and say, well, they've just gone and done that. So maybe their time is now too. But the thing is, so he will miss the kick, so it will stay 16-12. It will stay 16-12 to the Storm. So, the only issue with Newcastle is that City aren't going to be down and out forever. Like, we've had a really awful season and we could still finish above them. Obviously the FA Cup's there, can't do the League Cup or the Champions League, which, they've won the League Cup. They can't win the Premier League, neither can we, but we've won the last 4 in a row, or 6 out of the last 7. So the only issue for them is that we're still there. It's just that it needs a bit of a refresh. And it says, I thought, anyway, let's get back to the Rugby League. Let's get back to the Rugby League here. 2 minutes 15 to go in the first half. It's 16-12 to the Storm. I want anyone to win the UCL unless they caught Arsenal. Good point. All right, so it's going to be Dolphins now. Bring this ball out here to the 15. It'll be dominant for another decade, honestly. I don't know when they won't be. Second tackle here at the 30. Thank goodness the Dolphins are giving it a go. Yeah, a bit of a good game here. We've actually got a good game on our hands. The last game wasn't great, and it looked like this was going to be a blowout when it was 16-2 to Melbourne, but the Dolphins have brought their way back into the game. And 40-20 attempt here. No, unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere near the sideline, but I thought that was what Katoa was trying to do. And now Papanau's going to be taken down at the 32. So second tackle here at the 40. And it's going to be Munster who goes out to the right, and then they're 45 metres away. Hey, go for a 2-point field goal, Storm, just to give a nice little kick in the teeth to the Dolphins for taking the 2. So 4 tackled here at the Storm. At the 45, Jerome Hughes. Jerome Hughes at the back. They got numbers. Got 2-on-1. They got 2-on-1. They got 2-on-1. He's over the sideline. He's gone over the sideline. Good defense, Dolphins. Good defense. So 1 minute to go the first half. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm getting a quick scrum going here. You're, 30 metres out from your own line. You've got a full set. You could go for a 2-point field goal and make it a 2-point game. They're on. They're on here. Quick try before our time. Well, it'd have to come from the Dolphins now, Casey. It would have to come from the Dolphins. All right, so 30 metres away from their own line. Redcliffe, it's first tackle. And now second. They're not making a great deal of meters in this quick little spurt. Second tackle at the 40. 23 seconds left in the first half. And that's a nice little run here. Katoa. He'll get out to Nicarima. Nicarima underneath to Herbie Farnworth, who really cuts in, gets off. Wow, that's a big shove off. They're 45 metres away, third tackle. They may be able to run one quick tackle and then go for a field goal if they want to go for any kind of points. They will just put it up into the air. They're just going to put it up in the air. The chase through here from Miso. Knocked back from Melbourne, and they're away. Oh, Papanau's nearly got away. Damn, he nearly got away there. Nearly. But there we go. So it is half-time, 16-12 to the Storm. It was 16-2 to Melbourne at one stage, but the Dolphins were able to come back into it and make a bit of a game. Guys, obviously we are about 70 subscribers away from 30k, so let's try and get there by Monday. Hit that like button and subscribe. Let's go through some of these stats here at halftime. The game's complexion has changed so dramatically across this last 10-15 minutes, because Josh Kerr scored on the 28th and then Bostock scored on the 36th, but stats-wise, the possession is more in the Dolphins, 53% to 47% for the Dolphins. It's 89% completion rate for the Dolphins, which is unreal. 17 from 19 is really good, and I don't even think that includes the last ones. They'll probably be 18 from 20 because they do get a kick away, so it probably will be over 90%, which is an incredible completion rate. 82% for the Storm, 14 from 17. They're not complaining about that at all. That's a solid completion rate. Despite the fact the Dolphins have had more ball, though, they've had 3 more completed sets. They've actually had 5 less runs than the Storm, who have 97 runs to 92. The Storm have 826 metres run for 722 to the Dolphins. 295 post contact to the Storm, 231 for the Dolphins. So it's really impressive that the Storm are actually... It's really impressive that the Storm have had less complete sets, but more runs, more meters in post-contact, and also in total. But it's also interesting that considering all that fact, it's only a 4-point game. Line breaks 2-1 to the Storm. Tackle breaks 19-12 to the Dolphins. 20-12 now to the Dolphins. So that tells you that the Storm are missing a few tackles. The average set distance is a huge telling point here, though. 38.54 for the Dolphins, 48.61 for the Storm. 48 is absolutely incredible. If you're getting anywhere near the 50 meters on the average set distance, you're absolutely loving every little second of that. But 38.96, what it is for the Dolphins now, you're not complaining at all. It's on the upper end of the basic section of between 35 and 40. Anything above 40 to 45 is good, and then 45 plus is amazing. And that's what the Storm are looking at. But 38 is nothing to really complain about. You've got 3.3 seconds average play the ball speed for the Storm, 3.55 for the Dolphins. So 3.3 is pretty quick from the Storm, especially considering they don't have Harry Grant. They've only got Bronson Garlick there, so that's a really quick play the ball speed. But 3.55 is getting on the slower end. It's getting to the slower end of it. Then you've got, in regards to kick defusal, 57% for the Storm, 71% for the Dolphins. Effective tackle percent, Melbourne, dreadful. 85.79% for the Storm is absolutely dreadful. 163 tackles made for 20 missed tackles and 7 ineffective is diabolical stuff. That is diabolical stuff there from the Melbourne Storm. So, you know, that's disappointing from a team of Melbourne's calibre defensively. But they are still leading 16-12. But then the Dolphins, on the other hand, they're 89.16, which isn't great, but it's not bad. It's good actually. Sorry, I should say it's pretty good. It's not awful though. 148 tackles made for 12 missed tackles and 6 ineffective. It's not the best you've ever seen, but you're pretty damn well happy with 89.16. And then negative play, the Storm have had 6 errors to 2. The penalties are 2-2, so equal there. And then ruck infringements 2 to the Storm and 0 for the Dolphins, and 2 inside 10 metres for the Dolphins and 0 for the Storm. So the tale of the tape, man, is that, you know, the Dolphins are well and truly in this game. They're holding the ball well. So are the Storm. The Storm have more meters by a long way in multiple regards. But, yeah, it's a bit of an oddly contested one here where I'm surprised the Dolphins were able to come back into this game from 16-2 down. But also the stats do show the Storm should be in the lead and relatively comfortably, not amazingly comfortably. But it's their defense that's letting them down here, the Storm. It's not their offense, it's their defense, because the offense is getting nearly 50 meters per set. They've got, you know, plenty of completed sets. They're there. They should be scoring, but it's their defense that is really taking them back. So you're probably looking at the Storm getting to about that 32 point. They might double this in the second half, 32 to 36 points, because the Dolphins' defense has been not terrible, but the Storm are so heavy on their attack. But the Dolphins are probably going to get into the 20s as well. So I've still got the Storm to win this one. I'll probably go like a 34 to 22 or something like that, 34 to 24, something like that Storm way. That's probably what I'm looking at right now. Casey says, good game though. Glad it's not a blowout again. Yeah, it is a good thing that it's not a blowout. That is a really nice sign. Brenton says, if Taxman isn't available for Origin, I think Bostock would be a good shout. Bostock, firstly, is he in New South Wales? Is he in New South Wales? Secondly, no, Jacob Kiraz would probably get it before him. Could the Hammer chase down Paps? I would say so, yes. I would say that Hammer is faster than Pappenhausen. But Pappenhausen is a fast player. Lumanman Bubby is fast. Maybe not as fast as he once was, though, before his injury. Before that significant injury against Canberra with the knee to the knee, or whatever it was. You know, it sucks by my calculations. Bellamy won't be very happy. I don't think he won't be happy, but he'll be a bit concerned, is what I would say. He'd be a little bit concerned. He'd be rightly concerned as well. 20 missed tackles by the Storm is unheard of at half-time. Robo says, go get some street food and see if you can last the rest of the stream without shitting yourself, and Olivia will get the $25 membership. Not worth it, because the going without through the stream without shitting myself, mate, that would go for a week, that sickness. So I will hard pass on that one for $25, but I appreciate your offer. Craig, we're ripping into Melbourne in the sheds about defense right now. I would agree with that. Yeah. I would agree with that one, to be fair. I'm just weighing up whether I should get a tea here at half time. Make a nice little cup of tea. I'm weighing up for it. Dasmate says, Storm wish they could be as dominant as the Dogs. You're a torture, Daz. You really are. You're a torture, mate. You're a torture. Hey, listen. if we're the only if we beat you on Magic, so my birthday is May 4th. That's the day we play the dogs at Magic Round. I will be here for it, mate. That is going to be such a torture stream. That is going to be such a torture stream. I think Bostock D is better than Karaz. Whoa, you think his D is better than Karaz's D? Is that what you're saying, Brenton? Is that what we're doing here? I knew Newcastle. There was something up with you guys down there. I really did. I knew something was up. Casey says, needs some more coach blow-ups. But there's plenty of coach blow-ups. You just don't see them because you don't need to see them. Dynamite says, going to be a full circle moment in 2012 in October when we flogged them in the grand final. The Storm, you don't play them until like round 25. William says, Titans beat the Dogs. I love how you laugh at that, William. Again, let's count how many times the Broncos have beaten us in the last 3 games. Okay, so let's count. All right, let's go. Ready? Okay, sorry, I just had a little bit of a meltdown. I'm just trying to think. Okay, so let's go again. Let's see how many times the Broncos have beaten the Titans in the last 3 games. Let's get counting. All right. Yeah, 0. Jason, me and Ladyboys in Liverpool. I would have no idea, mate. I also don't want to have an idea. I do not want to have an idea, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea. Hey, William, I'm going to let you sit with that one, though, alright? I'm going to let you sit with that one. Hey, was it within 13 plus when you last played us? Surely the Broncos, with their illustrious, successful history, even though they haven't won a comp since the Titans have been in the comp in 2007, you've only choked 2 grand finals there, and if you'd like to use that, that's first in a long line of losers. Well done on that one. Really, congratulations, especially from winning positions in both grand finals with last seconds to go. But I just want to know, with the Broncos being such an illustrious club and the Titans not being such an illustrious club, you only lost that by 1 at 12, yeah? Alright, I'll leave you with it. William, I get you every time. Katie says, being a Broncos fan through those 2 grand final chokes has been rough. Yeah, no, I feel ya. You guys know by now, though, like, it's not necessarily going at the club, it's going at the person who supports the club when they took shit. Dazmate said it's all banter, as you guys know, except for you, William. It's not banter with you. No, it's fine. Ben says, I still don't know why Chokes decided to take the 2 a couple times in 2015. It arguably cost them the game. I can't even really remember that first 70 minutes. 70 minutes was actually not the greatest grand final. The last 10 minutes was incredible plus extra time. But I would still say there's much better like grand finals across the game. I would even say the Dogs versus Rabbitohs in 2014 was an amazing grand final to watch. The first 70 minutes was quite close, or 60 minutes was quite close, and then obviously the Rabbitohs blew it out in the end, but I thought it was a great grand final. I thought 2016 was better than 2015 because that was a close game throughout, and there were some amazing moments. And the Storm would have won if Will Chambers had to pass the ball. 2023 for me was a better grand final as well than 2015. I think even when the Broncos were so dominant for 60 minutes, that was pretty good to watch. And then the last 20 minutes obviously was incredible with the Panthers comeback. I think that grand final had everything in 2023. Last year's grand final wasn't really that great for mine. 2022 was awful. 2021 was okay. It was very close between the Rabbits and Panthers, but it was okay. 2020 sucked. I know it was close, but it wasn't. It was a blowout to the Storm, and the Panthers just came back and made it close, but it wasn't really. 2019 was a good grand final, but I still would have better ones than that. I actually really enjoyed that Manly vs Storm 2007. Oh, 2008, sorry, I think it was. Was it 2008 when Manly won 40-0? I think it was, yeah. I actually enjoyed that one. There was someone outside your window looking in while you were gone. Was there really? Was there really? That wouldn't necessarily surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Nobody says, you look like a helicopter pilot today. I am. I am a helicopter pilot. You'll be able to watch my helicopter when I was driving the helicopter on the Travel Channel. Yeah, it was a ladyboy. Oh, true. Mullen says, Bulldogs beat the Rabbitohs 32-0. Clean win. It was a clean win. Rabbitohs were dreadful. Bulldogs were way better. Simple as that. For me, top 3 I watched was 2016 1, 2023 was 2, and then 2015 was 3. I would agree with that order. I would agree with that order. What's the Travel Channel name? Mate, it's in the pinned comment in the description. It's literally there, not in the description, sorry. It's in the pinned comment in the chat. You see how it says subscribe to our World Travel Channel right there? I think people miss that. I don't think they actually see that comment's in the chat as the pinned comment. But yeah, we're still kind of trying to get consistent with it. There'll be a new video tomorrow, actually. That'll be the Las Vegas vlog. That'll be the Las Vegas one. And then Hawaii will be a couple, maybe 2 or 3 vlogs. And then you'll see the India vlogs. Big Dave says, Blaze, just watched your How I Became a Titans fan. Only thing I took from it was you're still a closet Broncos fan. Yeah, if you took that from that, then you're an idiot. So, thank you for exposing yourself. All right, the second half is about to start here. Second half is about to start. Storm out in the field and some of the Dolphins. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. We are like 70 subscribers away from 30K. We are super duper close, man. Well, I reckon we can get there by Monday. We just have to keep saying subscribe. I reckon we can get there by Monday. Sephiroth says Storm play Broncos round 23 and 27. Long wait. Oh, they play each other twice in the last 4 rounds. I hate that one. I don't have a complaint at the beginning part of the season or the middle part of the season playing each other a couple times, but that's a hard end for the Dogs. But I guess that'll wake them up really nicely for the finals, so that'll actually work in well for the Dogs. All right, so first tackle leave of the Storm, and they pass it out to Trent Loiero and then to Sean Blaw, second tackle at the 25. Ben said, I didn't watch the 2013 grand final with the Chooks versus Manly, but did Manly really get robbed in that match? I wouldn't say robbed, but there was some very questionable officiating in the game. But if you're including all-time 2010 takes the cake. No, it definitely does not between the Dragons and Roosters. No, it definitely does not. Big Dave says, in all seriousness, though, great video. Nice to hear you open up about how welcoming Rhonda. Yeah, it's close enough just with the H next to the R. Was instrumental in showing how welcoming the active section are. Great story, mate. I appreciate that. I filmed that video like 4 or 5 years ago. It's a while ago. Maybe 3, 4 years ago. Most of the top teams got it decently rough towards the end of the season. Well, that wakes them up for the final, so they would be happy with that. Bank up the points and then not play the difficult teams really until the back end. They'd be very happy with that. Dad's a para fan, Daniel Bates says. Geez, Daz, do you have a response to that? Daniel Bates just called you a para fan. Dear me, that's an insult. So third tackle here for the Dolphins at the 23. Only down by 4 now. Crazy little turnaround. Dasmate has timed you out, Daniel Bate. I'm not surprised. I really am not surprised with that one. Really not surprised. So they give it out to Josh Kerr. And Josh Kerr will get to the sport of the 40 on fifth tackle. That's my response. No, that makes sense. No, that does make sense. So Nikarima will kick it down to Little Mama Little Puppy Run Pappenhausen at the 20. And he'll cross the field, look for a little hole, and he'll be taken down to the 25. Just saw Daniel get hooked. Rest in peace, Daniel. Yeah, that's what happens. That is what happens. And that, my friends, is going to be a penalty to Melbourne. That, my friends, is going to be a penalty to Melbourne. By the way, Jay, were you actually being serious that someone looked inside the window? You can't see through those windows anyway, so... Was there actually someone back there? That's funny. They probably can hear me, so they're probably checking out what's going on. Was Faraz handing out free zinger boxes at KFC Bankstown? What? Faraz? Oh, yeah, the Broncos fan from a few years back. Does he live in Sydney, that bloke? William 30 says, Bulldogs peaking too early. Bulldogs peaking too early. I find it would be hard to keep that gritty style of play going all year. Fair, but the Dogs are a very defensive kind of minded team, and that's how they kind of operate. So, look, I don't think that you're necessarily wrong in your thought process. Only time will tell in regards to that. Olivia Reid, welcome to Ultimate BKR. You're in the exclusive club. You are in the exclusive club, Olivia. There you go. There you go. See, you're firing up. You are absolutely firing up, Olivia. Deary me. She's exclusive over there. She is exclusive. So thank you very much, Olivia. Fourth tackle now, 18 metres away from the line. Now, free toothbrushes. Oh, my gosh. Not the toothbrush again. Not the toothbrush. Jerome Hughes over the top, flicks it out. And it's Kane Bradley taken out of the 10, fifth tackle. I'm an ultimate beacon. You're ultimate, Olivia. You are the ultimate. You know, you guys are going to get on a level. You know, Jerome Hughes will whack it across onto the left-hand side where it will be Xavier Coates grabs it, and he'll be taken over the sideline. So it'll be Dolphins ball here at the 10. I can see, by the way, I can see that the stream's cutting a little bit and buffering a little bit, but I can't do anything about it, so I hope it's still alright. No, it wasn't serious, but Brenton might have been. Yeah, but Brenton's looking for lady boys. He's been to Thailand. Like, Brenton has openly said he's been to Thailand, and you know, it's a bit of a worry with Brenton, but then again, that's the Newcastle way. By the way, I do have the link open for that Marriott Bonvoy in Merlin Beach, mind you, so I actually have pinned that link on my computer. But a penalty here to the Dolphins. Penalty here to the Dolphins. Set to the scoreboard. Oh no, I've got to refresh it. I've got to refresh the scoreboard here. Jay forgot to do his job and so did Skunkle. Muppets. They really are. They really are. Alright, let's open that up. That's done now. Yeah, that's right. I reckon Dogs make the prelim but lose. We'll see. Obviously, they made the first week last year and got knocked out by Manly. Finals is a big, different ball game, but that was a great game between Bulldogs and Manly. That was one of the only great finals games last year, to be fair. There wasn't a great deal of awesome finals games. But Bulldogs-Manly was probably the best one, very clearly. Very clearly. Brenton like beads confirmed. That is a very Brenton thing to do, yes. Yes, it is. How do you feel like you're going to go against Cronulla this weekend, Brenton? Because they haven't been spectacular as Sharks, but the Knights have also... I would argue they haven't scored across 3 weeks because their try against the Titans came in the last 2 minutes when they were down 26-0. They didn't score against the Dogs, and their try against the Tigers came in the last set of the game. So, and they were down 20-0 at the time. So I really don't... I'd really barely say it. Herbie Farnworth, he'll be offloading the ball to Nikarima at the 30, and Nikarima gets through. He's away to 20. He flicks underneath. And it's going to be a try to the Dolphins. They're going to take the lead. Well, how's your 2 points looking now? It's looking fan-damn-well-tastic, Dolphins. 16-16 with a kick to come. Oh, boy, the turnaround. Oh, mate, I tell you what, Storm, you are on fraud watch right now, mate. You are on fraud watch. Damn, the Dolphins, 16-16 with a kick to come. They're going to be right in front to take the lead, 18-16. So, you know, that 2 points is starting to work out for them. Starting to work out for them. Dad said the last time the Dogs started 6-0 was 1938. They went on to win the comp that year. 1938. How many teams from the comp there, Daz? 2.5? There's probably like six or eight teams in the comp in 1938. What it would have been? What, Cumberland? Cumberland were in the comp the rugby league at the time, New South Wales Rugby League. What'd you have? The South Sydney. You would have had East. Yeah, obviously the Dogs. This was before the Sharks and the Panthers came in. You probably did have Cumberland in at the time. Maybe St. George were there potentially. Yeah, William. No, it's worked out for him now. It's worked out well. Hasn't necessarily worked out for him yet because there's still 33 minutes to go. But it's looking good for him now. Fraud watchdogs are clear of everyone. Hand us the trophy now. Oh my God, you're a punish. That's because the Dogs didn't have Cowboys in 1938. Oh yes, the team has won one comp across their 30 years. That's the team we're looking at. And had to rely on Ben Hunt dropping the ball to get it. Because I actually think the Broncos win that grand final if Ben Hunt doesn't drop that ball. But it happened. So anyway, 18-16 to the Dolphins with 33 minutes to go in the game. This has turned into a really good game. Dolphins should decline the kick. Yeah, I would have declined the kick if I was the Dolphins, yeah. That's because the Dogs didn't have... I read that stupid comment. Keep telling yourself that they're neck beads, buddy. Oh, no. Brenton's just getting slapped for the beads at the moment. Robert says the Lebanese drums have been getting a flogging to start this season. Mate, those Lebanese drums... If you're living in Belmore and you're not a Dogs fan... Can you imagine not being a Dogs fan and living in Belmore or Canterbury or Lakemba or something like that? It'd be a tough one. Imagine being an Eels fan. Imagine being a Rabbitohs fan today. But imagine being an Eels fan living in Belmore. You wouldn't hear the end of it. Sione says, go the Dolphins. Get around here, Sione. Brent says, Big Dave, you seem not about no bees. Big Dave is a big fan. Big old fan. I reckon if you started up an OnlyFans with beads, Brenton, you might actually get a nice little subscriber there. Oh, okay. This is going to freeze. I don't know what's happening. And now it's back on. Sorry, I don't know why, but the internet must have cut out for a little bit, but we're back now. Forward tackle now for the Dolphins. Forward tackle. Ben, by the way, you don't really kind of need to put frozen, mate. I know when it freezes and whatnot. It'll come back. So fit tackle at the halfway point to Isaiah Katoa. And he'll put that ball into the corner, where the Storm will grab it through Xavier Coates to the 15. William says, I live in Bondi and I stay as well clear of Belmore as possible. You live in Bondi, okay. So why are you a Broncos fan if you live in Bondi? The Storm now will be at the 30 on second tackle. What a game we've got here, though. The Dolphins are in good form. They really are. They looked awful to start this game, but then since then they've just really turned it around. And, you know, it's showing that the last two games haven't just been throwaways. So Josh King comes off the field here for the Storm. Is Bondi known for having Brisbane fans? No, Bondi is known for having latte sipping Roosters fans. Latte tastes better in Bondi. Yeah, the old Bondi out there in Penrith, really impressive stuff. Really impressive stuff there, Penrith fans. So fifth tackle here at the halfway point. Ben Hunt, just drop it, sponsored by Nike. Oh, Storm right hand side. They're away on fifth tackle. He's still going. He kicks it through. Chance here for no dropout coming up. He didn't even need to take that across the line. Jack Bostock didn't need to touch that, but it's going to be a dropout here from the Dolphins to the Storm. Big Dave couldn't afford me. Big Dave, what do you have to respond to that? How much do you reckon Brenton's worth? Seb Watson says Bellamy must be blowing up. Bellamy wouldn't be happy right now. No way. No way. But Bostock did not need to touch that. I'm from Brisbane. Must be hard for a Titans fan to work that out. No, you just say that you're in Bondi. So I asked the question. It's really not a difficult question to answer. But thank you for showing me that you're emotional. You know, appreciate it. So first tackle here for the Storm, and they're going to get this ball here to the 25. But no, it makes sense. You know, Brisbane's a bit of a shithole, William. So it makes sense that you go all the way down there to a beach. You could have easily gone to the Gold Coast an hour, you know, south. But, you know, the intelligence of Broncos fans obviously taking you into New South Wales where, you know, I'm sure you're a Queensland fan. Shows the intelligent level there. Storm, 5 minutes away from the line. Third tackle. 30 minutes to go of the game here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. They're 5 metres away. It's Munster, short ball, Kami Kamitha, and he's 5 metres away again. Fourth tackle. Ben says Bellamy kicks the chair. Oh, Bellamy will throw the chair. Jerome Hughes kicks it through. Chance here. Oh, no. How did Katoa not grab that ball? Oh, there might be a penalty here. Oh, no. There might be a penalty try to Melbourne coming up. There may be a try coming up here. Yeah, there might be a slight little push here. I don't know if they... Would they call this a penalty try? Maybe, actually, if there is a push here from Jack Bostock. So, Elias Katoa coming in here and... Oh, no, he hasn't. No, Bostock just put his hand in and knocked it away. No, this is fine. I just want to see if Elias Katoa actually touches the ball, though, because Bostock definitely knocks it away. But does Katoa touch it? Yeah, he touches it. So it's a knock on from Katoa. So it's going to be a 7-tackle set coming up for the Dolphins of the 20. Good defense there from Bostock. Great defense. Mitchell says Titans live rent-free. Yeah, William tries. I don't know why you try as hard as you do. I've seen that he's gotten timed out over there. I don't know why you try, William. You can't win this battle. Maybe just sit back and enjoy for a little bit, because every time you bring up the Titans, it just means that any other Broncos fan watching is getting slapped. So you're actually being a bit more negative to your own club than you think. So, because I can easily respond to you, and I've got the microphone, mate. So first tackle here for the Dolphins. They're going to get this ball to the 40. Second tackle. The Brenton savagery though. What did Brenton say? Big Dave couldn't afford me, and how much is not enough? Oh, what Big Dave say? Brenton, word is I'd only need a 10 on a cheeky smile and you'd be smitten. There's a bit of flirting going on in this chat right now between two dudes. It's very interesting. Third tackle here at the 40. Isaiah Katoa to Cody Nikorima. Nikorima then to Herbie Farnworth. Farnworth, the 35, the 30, the 25, 20 out. He's still going. And now it's going to be a penalty to the Dolphins. Damn, bro. Apparently the Dolphins and Storm are having a mare at the moment. Williams secretly has a Titans post in his bedroom. Yeah, no, we live rent-free in his head. So it's apparently the Dolphins 20 minutes out. They could score again here. Gee whiz. They're in trouble in Melbourne. They are seriously in trouble at the moment. Bellamy's going to explode. There's a reason why they're not showing him in the in the coach's box right now. But the Dolphins will kick this ball out to the 15. Here we go. How much do you reckon Herbie is worth on the open market? A lot. Yeah, he would be a lot. Especially with the new kind of the salary cap increasing. He'll be up around the mill. I know he's a centre, which is not considered one of the better positions on the field, but you would be considering up around that area. 3 metres out from the line, second tackle. Second tackle. They give it out to Ray Stone. Ray Stone to Katoa. Katoa. Was that forward or not? I think that was forward. They haven't called it. Damn, the Dolphins are going to score. I would argue that pass was forward just then. But try time for the Dolphins. 22-16 with a kick to come. I would love to come back and have a look at this pass though. But if it's not forward and it is flat, then that's a great pass from Katoa. Blake with the Chicks or NRL clubs? What? I don't know what that means. It's Blake. So out to the left. I want to see a side on angle here. It might actually be flat. That may actually be flat. Yeah, Brady's talking about the hint of a forward pass. Show us an angle. They're not showing us an angle yet. I would love to see an angle that shows a more definitive look, whether it's a forward pass or not. But I don't know. I thought it was forward, like live. I thought it was forward live. Here we go. This will show us. And oh, that's forward. That's forward for mine. Nah, that's forward out of the hands, mate. That's forward. Like it's called a try. The bunker can't overrule it. But because he dummies it, it means that Canelli Lemielu is a little bit more in front of him, and that he does throw the ball forward. That is a forward pass of mine. This will definitely show it. Oh, that's not a bad angle, but it's just the way the hands come out. I'm pretty certain that was a forward pass. And now, when it was a try, you can't rule on forward passes, Big Dave. So it doesn't matter if it went up as a no try, then it would have been a no try. They can't rule on forward passes in the bunker. But I think that was a forward pass. Good pass from the Dolphins quarterback. Yeah. So 22-16 here with 27 minutes to go of the game. Then again, Storm always get beneficial calls, mate. So it's not really, there's not much sympathy going around here. Do you think there should be challenges for passes? Well, they don't have that. Like, sure, maybe not challenges. No, I think that the bunker should be able to rule on clear and decisive ones. I don't necessarily think that was clear and decisive, but I think it should have been called as a forward pass. All right, from the left, they will get the kick. So it is 24-16 to the Dolphins. They were down 16-2. The Dolphins were down 16-2. It's now 24-16 Dolphins. And I'm telling you now, it could come off them. It could come off them. But this has to go here, son. It does have to go there. Ew, ew, ew. Fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. The fraud alert is in play right now with the Melbourne Storm. Tuitanga Valoa. Looking good out there. Not looking too bad. Saikatoa is really... He's been so good so far this season, though. Start getting salty, Storms. The Dolphins will get the ball at their own try line, and Tom Gilbert brings you out to the 15. Crazy to see the Storm throwing away a lead like this. Here comes the Storm rob chance. I don't think it was as decisive enough, but, you know, this is a really great turnaround from the Dolphins because they looked like they were going to get pumped after 20 minutes. Who you got in a foot race, Sloan or JC? Probably Sloan. JC's fast. A penalty to the Dolphins. The Storm are capitulating. The Storm are capitulating. Yeah, the fraud alert's out, Olivia. The fraud alert is absolutely out and about right now. So we finally calling the Dogs to the face to win the comp. I think based off of this early part of the season, we're currently looking at them having the best start to the season, long-term wise. You know, I don't know. I still think, I don't know, man. It's tough because I don't think the Dogs have proven enough against the big-time teams yet. But I also say that they've clearly had the best start to the season. So it's a very difficult one. I just know that there is 27 rounds in the season, not 7. And I know that the finals are a different ball game and the Storm have the experience compared to the Dogs there. It's a very difficult one. Like, the Dogs have clearly been the best start of the season, though. There's no debating that. So 6 again now for the Dolphins at the 25. Isaiah Katoa out to Nikorima. Nikorima at the 20. Taken down to the 10. First tackle. Craig Bellamy is going to knock these guys out, eh? Like, Craig Bellamy is going to absolutely knock these guys out after this game. Even if they came back and won. It's only 8 points. Even if the Storm came back and won the game, like, he's going to go in and he's going to headbutt the first person he sees. Out to Isaiah Katoa. And Katoa is going to be 5 metres away from the line. Zachary says, where in the world are you? I'm currently in Udaipur in India, bro. I'm currently in Udaipur, which is a little bit south of Jaipur, about 8 hours by train. 4th tackle here. 5 metres away here from the line. 24 minutes to go of the game. And then they give it up to Isaiah Katoa. Ray Stone, and Ray Stone is 5 metres away. Dolphins beaten the previous grand final. How good are they? What? Beating the previous grand final. What? Nikorima kicks it through. It's a great kick. And Jerome Hughes, can he get out? He cannot. It's going to be a drop out from the Storm. Dolphins are all over Melbourne right now. The Dolphins are all over Melbourne right now. All over. Dolphins have a great collect group of players with their lines to be compared with the Storm. It's interesting, Adrian, because they did not look good at the start of this game. They looked awful in the first 4 rounds of the season, being 0-4. And then the Titans played them into form, and the Panthers helped them out along the way, and now the Storm. Beating the Storm from the start would have made a lot more sense. But, that won't go 10, so it'll be Dolphins ball at 10. Beating the Storm from the start of the game makes sense. Coming back from 16-2 down is really insane stuff. Melbourne, when they take a lead, it's so odd to see them throwing it away like they are right now. Robert says, you watch the Panthers come back late in the year and somehow win the 5-peat. Mate, we won't hear the end of that. If the Panthers do that, that'll be the biggest miracle of all time. If they do that, then, you know, there's no argument they're the greatest team of all time. There's no argument against it. Second tackle here at the 5. Gets it off to Isaiah Katoa. Then... Lemuelu! Oh my gosh, he's half a metre short, third tackle. Half a metre short, 6 again. Oh, that's going to be a try. Oh, damn, good cover defence there from the Storm. So first tackle now for the Dolphins. They're 2 metres out here from the line. Out to Nikorima. Nikorima to Isaiah Katoa. Isaiah Katoa cuts across. They're 10 metres away. Short play, 5 metres away now, second tackle. Beating both teams from last season. Yeah, Panthers are a bit of a different story to the Storm, though, right now. But technically true, but Panthers are a bit of a different story. 1 metre out, Tom Gilbert, third tackle. Storm, you concede here. How are you coming back from 14 points down? The Dolphins did it, but they had a lot longer to play with. Right? Nicarima knocks the ball on. It's going to be Storm there. Oh, lucky. They nearly got away there, taking down to 10, first tackle. Robbo says, the Dragons beat the Storm the other week, but let's see, then lost to the Eels. This year has been all over the place for most teams. Agreed, but also the Dragons are like the Storm bogey team. The Dolphins aren't, which is why this is even more impressive. The Dragons are a bogey team for the Storm. They beat them last year in Melbourne, 18-16 or 16-14 or whatever it was. I think it was 18-16. Jerome Hughes steps and he'll be taken down to the 35 on third tackle. So, yeah, you're right, folks. The season's just out of whack, bro. It's completely up all over the shop. It's completely all over the shop. Storm now, they'll beat the 45 on fourth tackle. At least up for their defense. Yeah, but they've conceded 24 points. So it's like, sure, but Elias Katoa's away. Oh, Gilbert just gets him, and then Dolphins get an intercept. And now it's Dolphins ball, and Herbie Farnworth. Farnworth here nearly had a chance to break away and he'll be taken down to 45. It's unfortunate because it was a good run from Elias Katoa, but he threw the ball straight to the Dolphins. Bellamy's going to give them a good old-fashioned spanking, but instead of a belt, it's going to be a steel bar that weighs 20 kilos. Yeah, that probably will be the case with Bellamy. Well, he beat Storm 18-16 last year there. I was right, yeah. So second tackle now for the Dolphins. And Hamiso, who hasn't even been a massive part of this game. It's not like Hamiso has been a huge integral reason as to why the Dolphins are winning. It has been Isaiah Katoa. Isaiah Katoa has really, truly changed this game on his own back. I haven't seen a great deal of Hamiso. Big Dave says, if Panthers come from this far down in the ladder to take another prem, I'd say they're the best team ever. They've been a bigger accomplishment than 4-Pete. Of course, it will be 5-Pete, so for sure, it would be definitely a better accomplishment. Hamiso will grab the ball at 10, flicks the ball off, and they're going to score. They're going to score. That's a great play from Hamiso. Just as I was talking about him, he flicks the ball back onto the inside, and the Dolphins are going to lead 30-16. They were down 16-2. The Dolphins are going to lead 30-16 with 20 minutes to go here of this game. What a turnaround. This is not what you would expect from the Melbourne Storm at all. And they are absolutely on fraud alert right now. Absolutely. Hammer must have heard you. Hammer must have heard me because he hasn't done much this game, but that was huge. Tune says, Hamiso needs to be unleashed so they can get more wins as well as points. Well, it's not like Hamiso has been the reason for the turnaround here. That was a good play from him, but it's not like he's been the big turnaround here. Robert says the Dolphins are just crushing them. They really are. They really are. They really are. So, William, like, I understand the banter and whatnot, bro, but, like, not 24/7, eh? Like, we've spoken shit about the Titans and Broncos, man. Like, not the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Just have a bit of a laugh about something else. It's not, we don't need to just be shit talking. Like, I could shit on the Broncos all day, mate, but, like, just kind of enjoy the game sometimes, too. Not just banter the entire time about a game that isn't played for another 8 weeks. Like, at the end of the day, I couldn't care less about the Broncos for another 7 weeks, mate. So let's just move on from that one and just stop trying to just, you know, take shit in the Titans and Broncos, whatnot, because I could take the piss out of your club all day, mate. So I really want to kind of just focus more on this game and then maybe a couple of jabs here and there. I can see that you're trying every single 2 seconds. Dazmate says Dogs are putting 50 on the Storm in the first 20 minutes. Night Rider says, wish this Storm turned up against the Wars. Now we get healthy Grant. Yeah, well, Grant out in this game has clearly shown that the Storm do kind of need him. Bob Bell says, some of you guys thought the Storms would just win. Well, the Storms is going to get you timed out because there's only one S in Storm. But also, secondly, everyone did. Of course they did. You would have tipped the Storm. You're just coming in trying to talk shit to people. But you would have tipped the Storm. Everyone's tipped the Storm here. I tipped the Storm. There's no denying that. Shinksy says, what happened? It was 16-2 to the Storm. Yeah, no, it's a crazy turnaround, bro. Yeah, credit to the Dolphins, Adrian. You have to do it. Stepped up. The Dolphins did. You know, I was shitting on them for taking the 2 in the first. But then again, this kind of does prove my point, though. So the Dolphins taking the 2 to make it 2-0. It wasn't a good decision. You have to beat the Storm by scoring more tries than them. Well, guess what? They are scoring more tries than them. It is 30-16, and they're beating them by 14 points. Take the 2 away, they're still up by 12 points. It's got nothing to do with it. The point of the matter is that you have to beat the Storm by scoring tries. And that's exactly what the Dolphins are doing here. Well, the Storm are going to get the ball here. 18 minutes to go. It's a knock-on from the Dolphins. It's a knock-on from the Dolphins. They're going to challenge this here, though, Redcliffe. Ben says this game literally changed in the blink of an eye. Oh, it was more of a consistent effort, really. The Dolphins consistently got themselves back into the game. Sione Otosambo says, great game tonight, Finns. Well, a long way to go still. 18 minutes to go, 14 points is not out of the equation. I think he just drops this. Yeah. I think he's just dropped this ball here because I think it's Sean Bloor. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. His hand is there. Or... I don't think there's clear intent to strip. I think it's fine. Yeah, it's going to be an unsuccessful challenge. Oh, it's going to be a successful challenge from the Storm. Sorry. No. Unsuccessful from the Dolphins. Yeah, unsuccessful from the Dolphins. Night Rise says, Josh Kerr woke up a monster in the Finns with his first touch and try. Yeah. William, my guy, I've got to warn you one last time here, mate. I'm very well aware that you're just trying to get a reaction the entire stream. Either just sit back and enjoy the stream, or just move along, bro, because it's very clear of your intent that you're just trying to take jabs the entirety of the game. Your team's fucking ass, bro. The Broncos suck. They've choked 2 grand finals. Move on, bro. Move on. Just enjoy the game. We're not even talking about your ass team, dude, who just got pumped by the Roosters last week, who the Titans put 26 past. So please, shush. Just enjoy the game, man. 18 minutes to go of the game. Like, you'll get timed out now, but next time you get hidden, bro, just understand to read the room, yeah? Second tackle now, 10 metre. This Williams guy's triggering me. I know, it's annoying at this point because the guy can't just sit back and enjoy the game. Second tackle in for the Storm, Jerome Hughes at the 15. They'll get this ball off now. Alex Katoa at the 5. William, if you would like to go join another stream, please feel free, brother. Please feel free. We don't give a shit. So third tackle now at the 11. Jerome Hughes gives it to Trent Loiero. Loiero off to Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen then to Sean Bloor. And Sean Bloor is 5 metres away from the line. Fourth tackle. Brenton says, so far Finns have improved in defence for these teams, top teams so far. Absolutely. Here we go. Munster, short play. Oh, they got very close to McDonald. They're 4 metres out for tackle. Good tackle by the Dolphins in the end. They give it out the back now to Munster. Munster kicks it across and not a good kick. And he's caught that in the in goal, I reckon. He's caught... No. Oh, they have caught in the in goal. I was going to say. So it's going to be a 7 tackle set now for the Dolphins. For the Dolphins. All right, so Dolphins now, they will get this ball to the 25 and it's 0 tackle. That wasn't a good attack and set from the Storm, and the Dolphins are just coming up clutch, mate. They are. They are. Seb Watson says, have Finn scored like 28 unanswered points? Yes, because it was 16-2. It's now 30-16. So, yeah, the Finns have scored 28 unanswered points. Yeah, they have. Skidder Media says, we don't accept William as a Broncos fan. He can be a Denver Broncos fan. It just baffles me. Sometimes that people don't understand to read the room. Like, we're banned to 24/7. Oh, here we go. Dolphins on the right-hand side there at the 20. Avarillo taken down 12 metres away from the line, 4 tackle. You just have to read the room to know, like, when we're, you know, where we're going and when we're having a bit of a laugh. And there's a bit of a change. They're getting whooped to the Storm. And it's 34-16 with a get to come. Smack, Melbourne. The Dolphins are killing them. They're killing them. Dude. It's 34-16 with the kid down. It's about to be 36-16. They're getting smacked, bro. Melbourne, you are on massive fraud alert. Massive. This has been a really good performance from the Dolphins. This has been a really, really good performance here from the Dolphins. And I'm making this fraud alert bigger. Dogs fans would be loving this right now. You're now 4 points at the top of the table. And Storm are getting pumped so badly that they could drop. 34-16, that's 18 points of difference. It's about to be a 20-point difference. The Storm are plus 90. They're about to go to plus 70. Remember when I said the Storm would have to lose by 20 plus points for the Broncos, so then if they won by 14 points against the Warriors, the Broncos could put themselves in the second position? Well, now the Storm are about to be plus 70, and the Broncos have a chance to win by 14 points or more tomorrow and go above the Melbourne Storm. But the crazy thing is, there's still 15 minutes to go here. If the Dolphins can keep scoring, the Broncos are going to love that because then they have a chance to beat the Warriors and go in a second. Crazy little turnaround. He Cutface has come on Fitty Bomb. If we see a Fitty Bomb by the Dolphins in this game, That's insanity. That would be one of the craziest things we've seen in rugby league in a long time. When was the last time the Storm had 50 put past them? Have the Storm ever had 50 put past them? I actually couldn't tell you a time when the Storm had 50 put past them. There's 15 minutes to go here. There's 14 points separating the Dolphins from 50. That's insane. There's someone who's a stat man. Does someone know when the last time the Storm had 50 put past them? Big Days, the V'landys effect is giving the Finns plus 10. Sportsbet is having an absolute party tonight. Mate, they'll be loving this. Night Risers, we were all saying this comp is wide open where anyone can win except the Storm, except against the Storm, but here they are getting pumped by the Finns when they were up 16-2. Just a reminder, the Storm led this game by 14 points. They led 16-2. The Storm will grab the ball, Xavier Coates here at the 30. They were up 16-2. It's now 36-16 against them. NRL is unpredictable. NRL is so... And this is what I said before the game started. I said, I'm taking the Storm 13 plus here. I'm taking the Storm confidently. But the NRL has been so unpredictable this season that anything can happen. And I wouldn't be crazily surprised with a shock upset. But I would never, ever, ever have expected this result here. Never, never, ever, never, ever. 4th tackle for the Storm at 10. What were the Dolphins paying for 30 plus? Oh, it would have been like, oh, Storm will score. Oh, no, knock on. The Storm actually went over the line, but there will be a knock on here from Melbourne. Damn. They actually would have been somewhat back into the game if they scored that. They're going to challenge this here, Melbourne, but I think Puppy knows it's a knock on. Craig is fuming. Well, Olivia, it's not over yet. Like, it's not over in regards to the Dolphins. Could still put more past them here. 3 times they've had 50 on them. Last time was 2003. Damn, 22 years ago. He gets his foot on it. I don't agree with the rule, man. I really don't agree with the rule. Like, yeah, he's falling over, but he doesn't knock the ball on and does play the ball with his foot. I think it's a stupid technicality in the NRL rulebook that we see. About time them Storm fans got a humbling. Yeah, they're getting a humbling right now, that's for sure. They are getting a big old humbling. Storm of Shockers losing that lead, as he said. Crazy, man. Crazy. Second tackle here at the 25, and they'll give this ball off now to Daniel Saifidi at the 35. Adrian says, come with the hour, come with the man. Dolphins have really surprised expectations. 11 plus, thank you. Crazy. Not only are they winning, but they're up by 20 points. And it's not over yet. Herbie Farnworth, he'll get up out of the right. They might have space here themselves. Jake Averillo will get taken down 40 metres out. And it will be a knock-on from the Dolphins. Casey Thompson says, Storm falling asleep in the second half again. They did it last week. Last week too. But they definitely did it in the first half too. It wasn't like this is just a second half thing. The Dolphins were within 4 at halftime. They were down 16-2, and just before halftime, the 28th minute and the 36th minute, you saw a try for Josh Kerr and then for Jack Bostock. So it was before halftime they fell asleep, and then they just haven't been able to wake up since. But yeah, the Warriors did beat the Storm in the second half. They did. But you've also got to remember, you go back a little bit further, and the Eels game, they were up 48-0 or 46-0 at halftime, and the final score was like 56-18 or whatever. So it's like the Storm won that game well, but the second half was not their half. The Storm are not a good second half team this year. They've actually been quite poor across their second halves. They lost the Dragons game. They lost the second half of the Warriors game. They lost the second half of the Eels game. They've been absolutely smashed in the second half of this game. What is it? 24-0 in the second half to the Dolphins? The Storm are 15 metres out here from the line for a tackle. They are a team to target in second halves, man. As long as you can keep up with them in the first half, you can target them in the second half. All right, Storm now. They're at the 15. Cameron Munster. Munster pushes away from one, gets away from another. He's still going at the 20, and he'll be taken down to the 15 on fit tackle. Please put feeding on them after that awful blue ball. They've had a couple of awful blue balls, actually. So Jerome Hughes, oh jeez, who's the Storm playing next week? You're in for a tough one. What is this? Oh, it's going to be out from the Storm, so Dolphins ball at 10. Who plays the Storm next week? You might be in trouble, because they're going to get absolutely whipped by Craig Bellamy this week. They are going to get whipped by Craig Bellamy. Let's have a look. Who did the Storm play next week? Where is it? So we're in round 7. They play the Rabbitohs at Amy. Good luck, Rabbits. Good luck. Good luck, bro. Good luck on Anzac Day in Melbourne. Amy Park against the Rabbitohs, who are coming off a demoralising loss to the Bulldogs. Good luck, Rabbitohs. Good luck, man. So 10 minutes ago here of the game, guys. Crazy game this season. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe. We're like 70, well, we'll probably be about maybe like 50 subscribers away from 30k now. So we're going to try and get there by Monday. Fair tackle now, 33 metres away. Craigie joins says, when Kerr subbed in, it flipped the momentum. Agree, yeah, and he was the one who just went bang. Hamiso chasing this through, but Pappenhausen will grab it at the 10. And Storm fans will use the excuse of Harry Grant not playing, but I just don't think that you have that excuse. I think that considering you were premiership favourites coming into this, just because you've got no Harry Grant doesn't change the fact that you've still got Munster, you've still got Pappenhausen, you've still got Jerome Hughes, you know, you've still got Elias Katoa, you've still got Xavier Coates, you've still got a fantastic team. Storm will get a penalty here at their own 20. I don't think that there is an excuse for the Melbourne Storm. Blizzy says, in retrospect, 65,305 people is an outrageous amount for a regular season. Yep. Yeah, no, it's amazing there for the Dogs and Rabbitohs. Oof, South will be handing out Easter eggs on Anzac Day as well. They're in for a tough one in Melbourne, that's for sure. Do you think this is the biggest upset so far this year? Context-wise, probably. Like, the Panthers and Roosters game at the time, like, odds-wise, it was the biggest upset there. That's a drop ball from the Storm. Dolphins ball at 35. The Panthers-Roosters game was probably more of a surprise, but the way this has been dealt with from the Dolphins is the biggest upset contextually, because they were down 16-2 and are up 36-16 with 9 minutes to go. Just remember, 3 weeks ago, this Dolphins team had not won a game. They were 0-4. 3 weeks ago, they were 0-4. Now they're about to go on 3 straight wins and then this one against the Storm. Tasman says, Dogs had no Burton and no kick out for 2 to 3 games. Stop the excuses. Well, I don't think Storm are using it, but if they are using it, I don't think they have an excuse. Fit tackle, even the Dolphins at 32. Out to Isaiah Katoa, and he's going to put that ball up for a chase down into the left, and it will be a knock on. Dolphins get the ball. Dolphins get the ball. Harry Farnworth will score! 40! It's 40 points to the Dolphins! Oh my gosh, Melbourne, you are on massive fraud alert. It is 40 points to 16 to the Dolphins. They're 10 points away from a Fetty bomb. There's 8 minutes to go here. The Dolphins could do it. Oh my gosh. This is actually mind-blowing stuff here, Melbourne. This is mind-blowing stuff. You've got to give credit to Redcliffe, bro. You've just got to do it. No matter what you thought of the game beforehand, no matter how the Dolphins have come in, you've got to respect that this is an insanity of a result. This is just wild. Shouldn't have taken the 2. If they didn't take the 2 and went for the try, this could have been for 48. Damn, this is wild. This is a friggin' 40 and a half, mate. Seb wants his best team in Brisbane. Well, the Broncos beat the Dolphins. 3 weeks ago, the Broncos beat the Dolphins to hand them to an 0-4 start. When I say there is a peak fraud alert here, I mean it is a peak fraud alert. It is a massive fraud alert. Just huge fraud alert. James says Storm will get some shit on social media tomorrow. Tomorrow, you reckon? They're getting shit now, I guarantee you. Unfortunately, Adrian, you'll learn the rules around here. There is only one S in Storm. There is no plural to Storm. The Storm rely on their reputation. That's the difference. I wouldn't disagree, but look at their team lineup. They've got a great team. This is the worst throw since the sandpaper gate. You're not talking about cricket, are you? What are you doing? Yeah, great. That is true, Blitzy. This is the greatest team to ever play out of the. Yeah, this is the greatest the team of all time. This is the greatest the team of all time. Muller says Harry Grant injured, Warbrick injured, Howarth injured, Meany injured. Storm are not in good shape. No. The great kick there from Osaka. He will get the kick, so it is 42-16. No, I'm sorry, Malu. I can't accept the excuses. I just can't. They've got Jerome Hughes, one of the best sevens in the game. They've got Cameron Munster, one of the best sixes in the game. They've got Ryan Papenhuyzen, one of the best fullbacks in the game. They've got Xavier Coates, one of the best wingers in the game. They've also got Elias Katoa, one of the best back rowers in the game. They have well and truly enough of a team to win this game. The Dolphins were 0-4 to start this season. Then they beat a Titans team that's super inconsistent, and they beat a Panthers team that have been absolutely dreadful this season. I don't believe the Storm have excuses here. I really don't. The Storm next 5 is the Rabbits, the Raiders, the Tigers, the Sharks, and then the bye. I just don't think that those guys out give the excuses to the Storm. I don't think they have any excuses. Well, they don't have the whole spine, said Watson. They've lost Harry Grant. Knock on by the Storm at the 35. Come on, Dolphins. Here we go. Put another one on. We haven't seen this before. We just haven't seen this before. Munster's getting upset here. Oh, damn. Look at him. Damn, the Storm aren't used to this. Yeah, you ain't used to this, are you, Melbourne? You ain't used to this. The Dolphins are up in India, and they are fired up right now. There is a biffo between the Storm and the Dolphins. Munster, you can tell he's salty. I tell you what, I feel sorry for the Rabbitohs. Next week, they're going to come out with a vengeance, man. You just expect it. But this is an incredible result, and you can tell the Storm are not used to this. You can tell. Jeff says, bruh, is this the year of the underdogs? The Panthers, Storm are all easily defeated this year. Mate, honestly, potentially, we're 7 rounds in, and we're just seeing crazy results like this, man. And, you know, and I'm repeating myself a lot, but that's because, like myself and like a lot of you guys, when you watch every single game, this is nuts. Oh, in the bin! In the bin for the Storm! 6.5 minutes. Oh, no, Donohue's going to the bin too. It's going to be 12 on 12. Still time. There's space. Skiddermedia with a $1 donation. Unreal. Get around your Skiddermedia. Here we go. 6.5 minutes left here. So 12 on 12 for the last 6.5 minutes. But the Dolphins will have the ball. I think it's a penalty to them too. Oh, no, or is it just a knock on? Yeah, it is a penalty to the Dolphins. Okay, here we go. This is just insane. Dominic Doyle says, all the Storm fans can't be blaming their injured. We don't have Thomas Flegler nor JMK, stop the excuses. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. I don't even think if the Dolphins had a... I just don't think there's excuses for the Storm against anybody. I think they've got a good enough team to win every game. I really do. Since the 23rd minute, it's 7 tries to 0 for the Dolphins, mind you. All right, 6 minutes to go here. Dolphins with the ball at the 40. Mate, Craig Bellamy is going to be coming in with a flying headbutt at the end of this game. He's going to come in through, the doors will be shut. He's going to just burst through with a headbutt and then throw a headbutt at the first person he sees in that Storm's locker. Out to Nikorima. Hamiso taken down to the 25, 30, third tackle. So, by the way, Broncos fans, you now have a chance to go into second. You just need to beat the Warriors tomorrow by, depending if the Dolphins can score again, you might just actually be above the Storm by today. If they get over 50, then you will be above the Storm with a win tomorrow by any margin. So Dolphins now, but don't forget we will be live for Broncos Warriors tomorrow, and then also the Roosters and Panthers. So that's fifth tackle here for the Dolphins. You can tell that Munster is salty right now, man. Isaiah Katoa. Here comes the hammer, the chase through, but the Storm will get it. They're 15 out. I don't think we're seeing the Fitty Bomb today, but it's just as impressive. Just as impressive. Big Dave says, here's why the Storm are losing. After Finns 0-4, V'landers sent a league-wide... Okay. I'm going to skip past this already. A league-wide email telling all other 16 teams they have to throw at least one of their games versus the Finns to help the new franchise fact. I'm going to take away the fact at the end of that, and I'm going to put opinion. How about that one? Blake says, sorry, David, that is not a fact. Exactly right. I'm going to have to pass on that fact and give you an opinion at the end of it. So what? So it is currently 26-36. Yeah, 26 points. The Storm will lose their plus 90. The Storm go out to the right. They're at the halfway point, fit tackle. 26 points. So they will go to plus 64. If the Broncos win tomorrow by 8 or more, they will go above the Melbourne Storm. And that's going to be Storm ball here at the 35. Jerome Hughes flicks the ball over the top. They go out to the left. It's still fit tackle. Papenhuyzen. He's going to keep going out to the left. Papenhuyzen. It's 2-on-1. They get off to Xavier Coates. They're just throwing the ball around. He kicks it through, and it's Dolphins ball. They could get away. Pass the ball. Oh, dear. So close to getting away there, Jake Averillo. He would have been gone too. At the 40, it's first tackle for the Dolphins. 3:40 to go. Guys, I think the Storm are winning. It's 42-16. It's 40 unanswered points. I don't even know what you're talking about. Blitzy member for 43 months. The Storm was shite. Thank you for being a member for 43 months, and they're not looking good. Mark Nichols gets the ball to the 45, third tackle. They would have to score pretty much this set, the Dolphins, if we want to be looking at a fitty bomb. Isaiah Katoa to Nicarima. Nicarima to Farnworth. Farnworth cuts. They want a big score, bro. You can tell the Dolphins are chirping for it. They're chirping forward. There's a space. There's space. They're away. They're at the 20, the 15. Oh, he loses the ball. Oh, he loses the ball. Gee whiz. Cree joins the Alex Jones podcast, Fox News. Yep, that is where Big Dave got his information from. Mate, if you were a Dolphins fan in that stadium right now, you would have quickly forgot about your Broncos loss to the Roosters last week. Ooh. I want to know. You'd be having fun there. As I said earlier, my hot take has come to life. If the Dolphins score more points, they might win. Thank you, Blitzy. Blitzy, for that really intellectual, incredible comment from you. The most unfortunate thing about you, unfortunately, is still your foot fetish. But, each to their own. First tackle over the Storm at the 22. Man. Ben says they probably forgot they even supported the Bronx. Probably. The last time they can see their highest score of recent year was 45 against the Cowboys, but I'm pretty certain that was the last round of the season when the Storm didn't play anybody. This was like 2022 or 2023, and the Cowboys put 45 on them, but they didn't play their full strength team at all. I remember it. So fourth tackle now at the 40. Munster, no kink shaming. With Blitzy, I definitely will. With Blitzy, he's earned it. Jerome Hughes gets the ball onto the inside, and Wishart will be taken down to the 13. Fit tackle, a minute 30 to go. They go to the right. Jerome Hughes into the air, and it is a try to the Storm. So it will be 42-20 with the kid to come. Broncos fans, you would absolutely hate that because now you've got to beat the Warriors by a bit more tomorrow. So 42-20 with a kid to come to Melbourne. They will be down by 20. But he says, not even the experts could think up that take. It's too obscure. It takes a certain type of genius that only I am capable of achieving. You know what? You are quite special, Blitzy. We'll give you that, mate. We'll give you that. So now, with it being 22 points, they will go to plus 68, the Storm. So you have to win now by basically 13 plus Broncos tomorrow against the Warriors in New Zealand. Yeah, the Dolphins are blue balling us right now, Olivia. You are right. The Dolphins are blue balling us. Now, this is an ultimate blue ball too. This would have been a big scalp. This would have been a big scalp to the team who hasn't won. No team has won the comp conceding 50. Jace's poor Storm. Yeah, nah, suck a fat one. Jeez, Rabbitohs fans, you're in trouble next week. And it's funny that we say this considering they're getting absolutely pumped, but we all know what this means for the Storm in midweek. Craig Bellamy's going to rip them. They lost because of the sin bin. Big Days, maybe another 2-point field goal might help. Well, it would help us have a chance at a fitty bomb, but no. 20 seconds left here. Pappenhausen, tough kick here from the sideline. Just a reminder for people who did not watch the entirety of the game, the Storm led this game 16-2 in the first 20 minutes. 16-2. So Ryan Pappenhausen from the wing, he will make the kick. Good kick. So 42-22, so a 20-point difference. But that, my friends, is game over in one of the most surprising results of the first 7 rounds. The Dolphins, you've got to give them credit. It's a masterclass from Isaiah Katoa. Herbie Farnworth had a good game. You know, the Dolphins are back. The Dolphins are definitely back. They started off the season 0-4. They now go to 6 points and their points differential, which was +8. They win the game by 20 points. So they're +28. So they go above Manly. They also go above the Sharks, and they're equal with the Tigers. I don't know about the separator. Probably the Tigers stay above them because they beat them. I'm not sure. But the Dolphins have sorted their points differential out so much, they're +28. So now they're above Manly this week because Manly have already played and lost yesterday. The Sharks play against the Knights on Sunday, and the Tigers play against the Eels on Monday. If the Tigers lose to the Eels, the Tigers will drop below them officially. And if the Sharks lose to the Knights, then the Sharks will drop below them. So the Dolphins have gone from an 0-4 start to potentially 8th position. They can't go above 9th position this week because they just go equal with the 6th. But they have turned their season around very, very quickly. So that tells you how early we are. But what a fantastic result for them. Obviously, guys, we'll be back tomorrow for the Warriors and the Broncos game, which will be a big one. And then also the Roosters-Panthers, which could be a big one too. The Panthers lose. Whoever loses that, your season's getting close. Like, especially the Panthers. You lose that, there's a good chance you go last this weekend. There's a good chance they go last if the Eels beat... Well, if the Eels beat the Tigers and Panthers lose, they would go last. Roosters are in 3rd last. Yeah, there is those two teams in a world of hurt. But looking forward to tomorrow. Big day today. Crazy result in this one. Good win for the Dogs. They are now... The Dogs are now... They are clear on top of the table. They're 4 points clear at the top of the table. They're 4 with a bye, to be fair, with a bye, but they are clear on top of the table. There is no one within QE at the time being. They've got a big test against the Broncos next week at Suncorp Stadium, the Bulldogs, but, you know, they would be very happy with this result. But anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here for now. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe. I want to try and see if we can get to 30k before the end of Monday, which I reckon we can do. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go get around it. Also, go check out our travel channel. But I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya! Also, very happy Good Friday. Absolutely, Ben Frigger.